What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all new episode of Talkin, your podcast amongst friends. I am your friendly neighborhood super Negro, aka Mr. Paranoid and Unemployed for 4 weeks in a row. That's right. We going for the trifecta. That's what I'm gonna call it. We're going
Trifecta.
for a trifecta. It's gonna happen. It is I, Anthony Sterling. Yes, indeed, I am here, and we are back. And ladies and gentlemen, your screen might look a little funny, but guess what? Try not to adjust it because we have two newcomers. Well, one returning and one newcomer. So let's get into them introductions because the slightly annoyed mixed chick, better known as the priestess of Beige Rage, also known as the African American princess, Miss Britt Williams, is on her assignment. And that beautiful ray of sunshine, Miss Araya Anderson, well, she's doing mama things and stuck adulting. So she can't come out and play today.
That
Basically, she
was
went grocery
such a
shopping.
nice. I was going to say that is such a nice way to say them bitches did not handle business and waited to the last minute on Sunday to do shit.
Exactly. Well, Britt gave us Saturday. Britt gave us a Saturday to say, hey, I can't make it. Did she? No,
No,
she didn't. She didn't. She was high.
the
My
fuck
bad. My bad.
exactly. As a
My
kite,
bad.
as giraffe pussy. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the first 15 minutes.
It don't matter. It don't matter. That's the clinical term. So we'll be all right. I think gynecologists say that a lot. So we're
Giraffe
fine.
vagina. High as giraffe vagina. Is that
I
better? I
Nah, it
think that's
doesn't
okay.
sound right. It
Gucci
don't sound right.
voice.
Yeah,
I think
it
that's
don't sound right. But ladies and gentlemen, you know she here. The most dedicated out of the crew. Well, I lied because you ain't always here, but I
that's
was
not
giving
true.
you
Because
props.
if I had the opportunity to get some penis, I wouldn't be here
Would not
either.
be here. That is true. So, but you still have your friend on your nightstand. So,
I do.
yay.
I do.
Nope, don't
I
show
was
it.
just. It's right
I
there.
know, but we on YouTube. The babies might be watching.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, let's not do it. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Just know that it's
show
long and strong.
okay, and it was about to get its friction on. Shout out to Sir Mix-a-Lot. Yeah, I know them things. I'm old. I do it. But y'all, show your love for Miss Coretta with the Beretta. Y'all know her as Helene Terragano. She's here.
That seemed short, but I'll take it. It's fine.
Fuck. No,
That's fine.
it was
That's
right
fine.
on time, just like
I
God.
should I should have gotten Reyes and
Brit's
Brits
time.
since they're not here. Yeah.
So you would have had 3 extra seconds, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you
I
wanted
think
five
so.
seconds of adulation?
I think so. I
Girl,
don't
we
see
live in
what's the
America.
problem.
Black women ain't getting that. Look at what's going on with Kamala Harris. Okay, we're moving
This is
on.
true.
You're not getting that love. You're just not gonna get it. It's not
This is
happening.
true.
The FDAs and the ADOSs say no because you might not be black enough for it. So be prepared. But folks, let's get into this and introduce our guests. Starting off first with our reoccurring guest now, who is now going to get 2 seconds of adulation. Show your love, ladies and gentlemen, for Rico. He is here
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
and done.
That's all he
They
gets.
got to go away. They got to go away. And last but not least, yes, again, I say do not adjust your televisions, computer monitors, or phone screens because
Yes, that is a white
that
woman
is.
that you see on our screen. That is a whole, well, not whole. She's not a whole white
Not
woman.
whole.
She's partially a white woman.
There you go.
She's got a
But
little.
how partial?
She's a spicy white, that like we like to call them, a spicy white from the state of Illinois. And you have to say the
Okay,
S.
so she's got that
Oh,
sasson.
don't say the ass.
You have to say the S. The Illinois.
Illinois. Straight out of Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. Show your love. And I will say this for the half a Rican
There you go.
princess. There you see. I learned these
Um,
things.
Aren't you
Show your
Puerto? Is
love,
it
y'all.
Cuban?
Wait.
Puerto Rican? Something Hispanic.
well, I'll just say that my father's family escaped a communist island, and we don't talk about Bruno.
Oh.
She's got one of those. We have what we
Oh,
don't talk
damn.
about Bruno either. Also,
He
we
looks
don't
like,
talk about
So
Filipino
Bruno.
Lavelle
Puerto
Crawford.
Rico,
No.
close enough
Okay.
to be offended this week.
Oh,
Close. But you still should be offended. I think everybody was offended. Didn't have to be from the island or of that descent. So I think no, you good to go. But ladies and gentlemen, let's show some love for our guest and new friend, and hopefully she'll show up damn near more than Britt Williams. That's for sure. Give it up, y'all, for Colleen. She's in the building.
That
And
seemed
they're gone.
very long. Did she get extra time because she's a white woman?
Yes. And we will continue. I'm trying to get a job. I have to show I got to play the game.
I see.
Man.
Okay, Triple
Yeah.
H.
All right. I need a job. Tired of unemployment. So that man, I'm gonna meet that man one day, and he's probably gonna sucker punch me, but I'll just hit a pedigree on him. He'll be fine. But
No.
hey, he
Have you
don't
seen
see
his
color.
legs? He ain't been working out lately, so you'll be fine.
No,
Just
no,
leg
no.
sweep
He's
him.
he's yeah, he's got some broomsticks now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then a lot of them do that when they're not wrestling anymore. They do just light workouts. Muscle mass just starts to look at
Nah,
Dave
Stone Cold
Batista.
still look good.
Okay, but have you seen his legs? They're motorized now.
I mean, he is like the bionic man, but I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
I don't give a damn.
You saw Dave Batista lost a lot of muscle mass, man.
He did.
He's not the animal he used to be, but he'd
He
still
ain't
beat your
that
ass.
motherfucker ain't roar raging no
N-
more. That's why.
No, but I do love the fact his I stand with Kamala Harris videos are hilarious.
Shit, he did a whole thing where he went to go vote early and everything
Yeah,
and cast his
yeah.
vote.
And
And
he
then I had to
called
sit there and look at Kane and Undertaker
well,
sitting
they
next to
are
Donald Trump.
but they're, a dead man in the big red Riri. I mean,
I
you
That
would
was
mean,
think,
so
and
that was
you
so
knew that
disappointing.
already. You knew
I
what was
mean,
going on.
no, it's one thing to be Republican. It's one thing to be a MAGA. Like I don't even consider them the same things. And like for you to sit there and then bring up Batista's name in that bullshit, like I didn't like that.
yeah,
No,
you didn't
you know
have
that's
to.
all about. It's all about sexism. You know they come from the generation where women ain't supposed to do shit but lay on their back, according to them.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
enjoy a good backland, but I got other shit to do during the day as well. I do have other things to do, and
oh
I
my
would like
goodness.
for my voice to be heard. Even when I am laying on my back, my voice should be heard.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oh,
Just
okay.
saying.
I'm sure
Yes.
it is.
Yeah,
As the neighbors.
yeah.
Did I
Especially
say
these
that
Or the
ones.
right?
person that's up under her.
There we go.
Especially these. No, not
There
the
we
ones
go.
underneath. The ones behind me. You see this?
Oh,
You see
I'm
this
talking about in the
pole?
bed.
You see that pole right there? That motherfucker be on this wall.
It hits the wall like Morris code. Boom, 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 boom.
That's
I believe
crazy.
I believe I deciphered hit it from the back, you black bastard. Okay.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, yes,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But no, it's been a week, y'all. It has been a crazy week, and I really want to talk about it for a quick second, man, because one of my favorites. I do not believe this. I do not believe the story, but man, it is very convincing. Tamron Hall, this past week is now back in the news, and not because her show is being renewed. It's because she was rumored to have gotten her back blown out by a certain orange tinged presidential candidate.
Ew.
And
Back shots from Trumpito.
Ugh.
oh, you like it? It's huge. It's bigly. It's like what the
You know.
I can
Stormy
take you to
Daniels said it looks
Malago.
like a mushroom.
yeah. Well,
Stormy Daniels' book, she said it looks like a mushroom.
Yeah, but she's probably on mushrooms too.
oh,
I've just
but
leave for Trump.
damn, we just it's just there. It's just
How
there.
did this rumor supposedly start?
Oh
He
well,
started it.
Right.
who started it? Trump started it.
Trump. Yeah.
But I thought Trump didn't like negresses.
That's this is how he's trying to combat the fact that he don't like him to say he fucked one back in whenever.
Oh, cause
Oh, is that the equivalent of I'm not this is my black friend?
Yes.
yes.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
So Tamron
crazy.
Hall. So Tamron Hall's black ass is his black friend.
Mm.
That's nah, I don't think so. But supposedly it started because there was a reporter who was doing some investigative reporting and got a tip
How
from
is who you fuck investigative reporting? Like when did this become investigative?
The same
girl
way when Clinton got his dick sucked.
the
That's
same way
different. He was the president and it was
JFK.
in the Oval Office.
Well,
JFK too.
true.
They were
Yeah,
sitting
Yeah, they weren't
presidents.
searching for that. They just found it when they were searching.
Well, nah, this
true.
it's more interesting it's way more interesting to research a felon than it is.
I
Yeah,
mean, but he's a
than
fucking
anybody.
felon. What do we
Yeah,
expect? So
But he's
some
a felon
reporter
that's
was
running
like,
for
so the
presidency.
reporter was doing a story on who? Him or her?
no, he was doing a report on let me see blah 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 blah. It was on Trump. But the crazy thing is, and I'm gonna read this because this came from I don't even want to say it because I feel like pajaba.com. That might be so wrong, but whatever. They basically said the rumor started like this in late 2015. NBC journalists they unearthed evidence that Hall and Trump were involved in an affair prior to his candidacy announcement. So this might have been in early 2025,
Oh,
2015 or
this is when
2014.
people liked him still. Okay,
Yeah.
Right. Right. Before he came down the golden escalator like the
yeah.
Simpsons predicted. So supposedly some evidence suggested Hall became pregnant by Trump and later had an abortion. Rumors reportedly leaked out of 30 Rock Plaza as NBC officials debated how to handle it. Eager to outscoop NBC, reporters from other outlets pursued sources within the network. But details were either murky or contested, with many sources providing only third or fourth hand information. Water cooler talk.
Oh, and one more
So,
thing. The article also mentions in 2016 an incident where users from a forum 4chan accessed voicemails from Trump's phone, and in a voicemail, Hall thanked Trump for advice on a meeting and mentioned using his discount for a $3,000 Gucci dress.
I mean,
well,
what
I
they
mean,
got to do with getting pregnant?
They just letting
I
it
Social
don't.
all out.
media.
They letting it all out.
Who knows? But again, I look at it as if it's water cooler talk, it's not news. Like it has no effect on
It's
anything.
not, but it's gross.
Exactly. And people were making jokes because supposedly she does have a type.
Oh, so
um
Candace Owens.
yeah, that's what they're trying to
So
put.
who? So she had a like she had a baby like that just popped up one day, right? Like she's just I'm pregnant, but like she's not. The baby's half white, is it not? Like didn't she use a
I
not a surrogate, but like in vitro or something, right?
something like that.
And
And I didn't
Trumpo.
even know she oh yeah, that's true cuz
Doesn't
Trump
she have?
is
I think she has a
oh,
kid, doesn't she?
How
I didn't
old is
know
the
that.
kid?
Yeah. Cuz keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump said he is the father of IVF.
That's
Is it
gross.
Shit.
because of Tamron Hall?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Dropping
Makes you
bars out
ponder.
Maybe
here.
There we
that's what
go.
he calls the kid.
Yeah,
Spouse. Oh no, is I
because
think she says it says spouse 2019. It doesn't say that she's divorced.
right.
Paul announced that she had given birth to a son. It says in 2017 she began dating music exec Steven Greener. 2019 the couple got married. They live in Harlem. In April
Hmm.
2019 she announced that she had given birth to a son.
Oh, the cover
Okay,
up.
so she ah.
You said cover up.
The cover
Dun,
up.
dun, dun.
Oh,
this
okay.
kid it- this kid looks 4 years old, Tamron. No, 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 he's freshly born, fresh from my womb.
Um, I mean, if like that's gross, but everybody's got some
Something. They got
dumpster
a
dick
kink.
or some
Yeah,
like some booger wolf that they had sex with at some point in time that they don't want nobody to know about.
right.
So, I
Everybody
mean,
is
Well,
I
beautiful to
get it.
somebody.
That's not
true,
true. That's not
true.
true. That's not true.
Uh, okay, all right.
That's
Hey,
not
I
listen.
true.
mean,
Everybody got a type, and
yes,
to somebody, that person is beautiful. We might think they ugly as dog shit. To another person, they
No,
might
hmm,
because
think they ain't gorgeous.
because even the motherfuckers that's fucking them will tell you that they ain't cute.
but they wanted them for something.
Everybody's
Yeah.
different.
Money.
Although I will say that I was listening to a report about Trump. They just came out with that movie, The Apprentice. I think it's on
Yeah,
Netflix, and it talks about his time coming up and this guy that like molded him.
yeah, Roy
Uh,
Cohen.
yeah,
Ooh.
and in the 70s, like Trump was the guy, like the hot, rich, blonde New York guy. Like
Hmm.
the boomers loved him.
That's what I
Yeah,
was saying
and
earlier. He was
Oh,
like a hip.
is
He was hip hop. I mean, essentially, I hate to say this, but he was almost hip hop royalty at one point.
well, everybody had a
What?
Trump line in their rap lyrics.
Yeah,
Everybody, because he was the poster boy for wealth.
Right.
The art of the deal, and I know how to make things happen, and I built this massive Trump tower that
and I
just
never
makes all these.
lose.
Yeah, but you did lose in 2020, but again, we don't speak on that. So
oh, we gonna speak on it. But
I
I
know.
think it like I don't know the whole Trump and this like you his him and his dad were still getting lawsuits handed out because he wasn't renting to certain people.
Right,
Yet it was
well
like,
into the
oh,
80s.
Trump into the he's in our rap video or whatever the case may be. It's still turning a blind eye to if it doesn't affect me, I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna be blind to it.
Yeah,
Sound like
And
America.
people are. I mean, it does. Unfortunately, like it doesn't directly affect me, so I'm not gonna worry about it.
hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. If I don't hear it, see it, or speak it, I'm cool with it. Stay deaf, dumb, and blind. Yeah, sure. It's Donald Trump. And
Trump
for
had a
me,
bravado about him that intrigued, I guess, certain. It intrigued because
Power.
we were. It what like especially that early on rap in the 80s where it was like, oh, this is the music of the youth, whatever, whatever, whatever. But it was like there was that time of assimilation.
hmm
Like we still want to have that crossover appeal so we can make fucking money. So who is like you said the art of the deal? Who is this white man that will like we can kind of code cow to or kiss a little ass and he'll be in our music video or whatever the case may be.
yeah,
Especially with rap being the way that it was in New York at the time, that was the place to be for like 80s hip hop.
And Colleen made
hmm
a super valid point. Back in the day, he probably looked like a looker. Honestly,
I just
he.
looked him up. He
And he
wasn't
was
terrible looking.
smooth.
He
If
wasn't
you
orange.
go back and listen to old interviews he's done,
yeah.
smooth, very
Way more
charismatic,
coherent
talked
than now.
quickly, had more of the New York accent. Like he was,
The only,
it fit into
yeah,
that time frame. Like he was kind of like the equivalent of how they thought of like Al Capone
Always
and
wear
like
suits and stuff.
yeah.
yeah,
But
a
if you
city
Yeah,
think about it,
slicker.
he was
yeah,
failing and broke
You
back
know that.
then, so still performing
I
as
can see that.
this person.
Yeah,
And he was
Yeah.
performing back then. He's been performing since he got all that. He got his inheritance, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we
It
really
was
want to,
only $1 million.
Nick, I look. You saying only $1 million is like
That's what
400
he
million.
said.
he sound like a child. Like when you remember when you were a kid and you went to ask your mom or your dad, "Hey, could you buy me this?" And then like, buy you that. I'm like, it's only $2. That's what he sounds like. And I ain't got no. I can't deal with people like that. And I don't trust a man whose lips look like a puckered up asshole.
My
and
brother just yesterday said it looked like a bleached butthole.
that's
It
crazy.
does.
But
Have you
when you
seen
come
pictures
for
of his
money,
mama?
Can't
oh
get that out of
damn,
my mind.
Oh, she was not an attractive lady.
Not at
she was
all.
beautiful
She
to his
was
Also,
dad.
us.
an immigrant.
She was not. I don't think she was beautiful to his because those type of marriages don't. They're not about love. They're about status. I don't
Yeah.
think that those two people got together with each other because they were so madly in love with each other. They got together with each other because it was a societal norm to get with somebody on the same caste level as you, and let me find a good breeder. It wasn't about, oh, she's beautiful. Nah, nigga, that bitch wasn't beautiful to
Mm,
his daddy was not sitting around with a bunch of motherfuckers and being like, I got a looker at the house, please.
Yeah, but
you
he's
don't.
The
also
You
fuck out
don't.
of
rich though.
here.
Like he's rich.
Yeah.
He was filthy
Yeah.
rich. And unfortunately, back then it's
She
the same
wasn't
thing as now. Like,
she wasn't sitting around the house saying, God, my husband is an Adonis either. But trust me, it was going both ways. Them people did
Wait a
no,
not
minute.
get
she
married because they
was.
was
She
in love with
was
each
saying he was
You
an
other.
don't.
Adonis. You
Wait.
heard what they
Y'all
said
don't
before. Ain't no
think.
such thing as an ugly billionaire.
That Jay-Z
Shit.
said that. And
Shit.
I'm not gonna say a word, but I'll say this.
A
You
bullshit.
don't think you don't think Fred Trump was at them Nazi rallies and not saying I got a
Mm,
bad bitch at home? You
a bad
seriously
air.
think
I got a bad Aryan bitch in the house.
exactly. Exactly. You don't think Fred is talking about my chick bad,
And
my
I
chick
Oh,
have y'all
good.
know she watched the hair. She watched American History X before I got here. You fucks.
Exactly. My bitch hate them
oh
niggas like
no.
any she would. It's like, what? Yes. Yeah.
But I think
Fred
if you
Trump
think
was
about it, it's on a very similar level to Trump's kids. Like
yeah,
you look at the women who
Yeah,
married his sons, and you're like,
yeah,
Mm,
so I think it's the same thing because at that time when they were married, Fred was the one with all the money, and then
uh-huh.
right.
the sons had some money, and then he Trump became the chosen one. So she just kind of fell into the bigger aspect of the money, but it was similar to Junior and Eric.
Yeah,
Fred's Eric.
and I'm sorry, Eric looks like a
And they both look
malfunction.
they look special needs as fuck.
Yes, they
There
do.
might be some extra chromosomes there.
I there
Oh,
definitely
Oh
are.
shit!
they are truly some cousin Jerrys. If you get that reference, let me know. If you don't, I'll teach you later. They
Oh
I
do
would
look
say
like
shit!
some cousin
Baron
Jerrys.
Baron is the only one that looks halfway. I mean, of the boys, Baron is the only one that
Yeah.
looks normal to me.
Yeah, but
He's
he also looked
the
like he killed puppies.
He
when
does.
he hits the
He does.
scene,
He does.
like I think he's the only one that's not like terrified of his dad too.
That's hilarious.
You
He look
think
like
so?
he
I don't
killed
know.
puppies.
I don't think
I
so.
I think Baron is like raring to go.
You think
I
so?
think
That's scary.
I don't know because that video. Well, you know what? You might be right, Colleen. Because the video of Trump, him and Trump, at the golf course, where Trump called Harris a fucking bitch.
Oh,
Barron's face was like shock and all. Like he was clutching pearls. Like I can't believe my dad said that. But then at the same time, I kind of feel like he may be getting nurtured to become the next nutcase of the clan. You know,
Yeah.
like because it's
I
because
it
the
seems like
mama's
he
starting to
might
get
be.
stupid too. The mama's
I mean, if
starting to
he
get dumb
really
too.
wants to make
I
it,
don't know.
then Melania is training him to flip to the other side. He would be
Hopefully.
much more successful in a life where he's totally against his father and everything his father's done than he would trying to follow in the footsteps of a lunatic.
I
I
could see
think
That
that.
is true.
I could
That's
see
true.
that.
Because
that's what
I
I
don't
would
know.
advise my child to do.
In a perfect world, it could happen. And also in that perfect world, Tamron and Donald's baby will make an appearance
No,
on
I don't
election
know
day.
that.
No, I'm joking. I am
very
joking that
soon.
I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. I'm just it's crazy. But speaking of crazy,
It's 2025.
um, oh Lord, don't remind me. One more little bit of madness and then we got to get to this topic, the big topic at hand. I had been contemplating about it, but Megan the Stallion is back in the news again. And I'm sorry I didn't put it in the outline, but this one's quick. Um she admit to not telling the truth in her interview with Gail King, but what she admit to not telling the truth about has the bros and the Tory Lane supporters going ape shit, and it is sad. And she just basically said, "Yeah, me and Tory did have moments where we had sex, and I was drunk." So now that equates to she lied about getting shot in the foot by Tory Lanez, free Tory Lanez. He needs to be exonerated, and she needs to
Dude,
make a public apology.
get the fuck
Where
out of
are
here. I don't
where
know
are
a
we in this
motherfucker
timeline?
alive that ain't lied about fucking somebody.
Thank you.
I don't
Right.
know anybody on this planet that ain't lied about fucking somebody that either they did not find as that either wasn't their type initially or that they did not find just the least bit attractive or that it was some drunken shit.
True.
My only
Right.
problem with that is, and this is legit my only gripe with that. Like, if you having a conversation, just have the conversation and be honest. Don't try to put the asterisk behind it. Yeah, we fucked, but I was drunk too. Like, if you was fucking, is because you wanted to fuck, even though drunk shit happens. I just don't want it
Yeah.
to come off looking like he took full on advantage over it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it was,
And
it
I
was,
don't
I
think he
it was two
did.
people to
I think
tango
they
with
were
that.
right. I think they were both drunk. They had, they had fun, and then all this madness came, and she had to, as usual, she had to clean up the image as much as possible, and it turned into, well, I we didn't have that kind of relationship. We were just good friends. We hung out and blah blah blah. And he got drunk, got mad, and boom boom boom. But my thing is, if all of that led up to you getting shot in the foot, something ain't right.
Exactly.
If the dude did it, the dude did it. But for the folks to come in yelling, free him, free him now. Oh, reopen the case. She lied. She must have lied about getting
I'm
shot in the
like,
foot.
two things can be true at one time. She could have lied
True.
about having sex and he still could have shot her ass. Like you like I don't
Who would
have
It's
you
not lie
ridiculous.
we
about having sex with Tory Lanez?
he's a munchkin. I would have lied too.
Yes. I mean, to be honest, if you look at the whole, it wasn't relevant.
Right.
It
It's
wasn't.
And
not
it's
like they
not
had a
relevant to the case.
relationship. It's
Yeah, it's
not
not
like she was, you know, mad because he was dating someone. It wasn't relevant. Like if I was her, I would not have admitted to that either. That doesn't elevate her.
at all.
What?
No, but
And
the problem with what she said was
Fucking the Lucky Charms elf doesn't do anything for anybody.
Right.
the problem with what she said was you're on a public platform now, right? And you in this high profile case, regardless of how we feel about the situation, like your honesty and things that you talk about need to match up with everything because now you're going to open yourself up to so much scrutiny. Hence, where we at
yeah,
now? You
But
know what I'm
she
saying?
already had this. She was already getting the scrutiny. She was getting the scrutiny the
Right.
minute that she said that the dude shot her. She was getting the scrutiny the minute that the call came out and the whole debacle happened. She instantly got the scrutiny. So, like Colleen said, it wouldn't have mattered if she said it then or she said it now about them having sex with each other because it would have always gone back to, oh well, she had sex, she must have been, and then followed by some dumbass statement like me
yeah.
having sex with somebody one time, two times doesn't negate the fact that you might have fucked me up or shot me.
I agree with that 100%. I'm just saying, like in the public's eye, like me and Anthony were
Mm,
talking about earlier, we live in the internet society, right? Everything happens so fast, so it's kind of one of them things where, because I see it from both sides, I can see somebody saying, "Well, if you lied about this, then you lied about the rest of it." I can also
Yeah.
see the other side to that, like you and Colleen said, that shit has nothing to do with the case, like zero. I wouldn't give a fuck if she sucked this
Unless
dick 90 different ways. That has nothing to do with the case because at the end of the day, if he shot, if a person, well, she said she was shot, and if she was shot, all that other shit is null and void.
unless he shot her in the foot while they were having sex.
Gunplay
Then
got
it becomes
involved.
relevant.
hey,
They
don't
took
yuck.
cops and
Look,
they took
what
cops and
they
robbers
say?
way too real.
Yeah, what they say? Don't yuck nobody's yum. Hey, if you like
True.
it and it's consensual, do
It's
you,
true.
boo boo?
Because I'm always thinking Tory Lanes with a gun. Is it like Yosemite Sam?
Yes, that's
That's
exactly what
some
it looks
funny
like.
shit.
You know, that
Like
is
every time
exactly.
you remember when you used to shoot in the ground, he would just go up in the air, or if he shot it and he'd fly to the left or to the right. Like I just never,
But did
I didn't
y'all
get it.
see the FedEx guy that is going to lose his job on TikTok because he did a thing about talking about Megan the Stallion and Tory sitting in his car with his FedEx uniform on in a fucking bonnet,
He should
talking
be.
about
Shouldn't be so
um
fucking stupid.
talking about well she lied about it so free Tory Lanez and if he did shoot her he should have shot her in the head. Like
He
those are
Oh
his
deserved
yeah,
exact
to.
right
words.
there, right there.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
deserved to. You
yeah.
shouldn't be
And
so
so
fucking
he
stupid.
So then he was like, I guess he was trying to double down on the shit and was going into people were of course stitching the video and duetting the
Mm-hmm.
video and talking
Right.
about, that's ridiculous that you would even say something like that and then be stupid enough to do it sitting in your uniform. And so he made his page private, but he continued to go under people's stitches and duets and talk shit. And people started like, oh, okay, you want all the smoke. So they started tagging FedEx.
Wow.
Like you gonna lose your job behind
Why
some
would
stupid
they?
ass shit you said on TikTok.
Shouldn't have been
That
so
has
fucking
nothing to
stupid.
do with you.
Tory Lane's gonna take care of him.
That apparently so, because I'm like, you really, like, if you have an opinion, but baby, trust and believe, I have opinions all day that should not come out of my mouth. I have found a way to express them without my face.
Right.
Not being present.
Yeah, I
Botox. Oh, you meant just not saying it.
no, no. And that's the thing that gets me. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, when will we not say let it go? When is when is it actually gonna be validated that hey, he did something, the courts found him guilty,
It's not.
and we keep it moving
Never,
on?
It's not.
never. Until
Well,
the only way that shit ever ends is if a video come out. Otherwise, that shit
And
it will.
even then, it ain't gonna end. We watched Rodney King get his ass mollywopped on video, and them motherfuckers got let go. Video don't stop nothing. Video
That's
don't stop a
true.
motherfucking thing. We saw a man get his neck stepped on for 12 minutes, and them motherfuckers like, no, he's not. That he didn't do it. Video don't stop nothing. We could have Tory Lanez
That's fair.
himself on video looking to the camera like goddamn R. Kelly did, and be like, "Yes, I'm R. Kelly pissing on a 12-year-old," and motherfuckers would still be like, "Nah, that ain't him. I don't believe it. He was forced to say that. He was coerced. It is the man that made him do it. It's Hollywood that made him do it."
He was acting.
Okay.
That part.
It was his twin brother,
That part. That's what they said
Corey
about Kelly.
Lanes. Yep. I'm like,
Corey
wait a
Lanes.
minute.
Yeah.
Corey
Corey,
Lanes. Corey Lanes. I don't know.
Why did my child just come in my room and close my door and look at me like this
because he
as
seen
he
Black
closed my
Thunder.
as he
he,
closed my door?
oh damn. Mom's busy. Slam.
He seen Black Thunder over there. Shit.
Oh man. But yeah, it's one of those wild things that still to this day constantly takes me out of whack. Like, yo, just let it go now. It's happened. You know.
Let it go.
Fans don't
Just
know how to let go of
Let
shit.
it
That's we
go.
live in a wild
true.
ass society where like fans take fandom to a whole nother level. Like I remember, like you was talking about Anthony watching a documentary with people fainting over Michael Jackson and shit. Fine, fans now will debate to the end of the earth for people that they like, and
Dude,
that's not
And
even
don't
just
know and will never meet.
none of
they are
that.
still debating Kendrick and Drake. And it
Let
is
it go,
still
man.
funny to me. Like I
Mhm.
enjoy it. I will go down those threads and read it and just read like the Drake fans losing their mind and then the K Dot fans come in and it turns into this civil war that I just go, neither one of these artists are going to take care of you in the end. It is
Mm-mm.
just music. Enjoy what you're listening to. And yes, Drake lost. Admit it. It's all you have to do.
It's
Just admit
okay.
it. Oh, but he dropped the last song. But that last song was hot cat ass. It
It,
wasn't
it
good.
wasn't.
He literally, and I'm going to say this for the very last time, and I don't care who hears it. The boy made an SVU rap. That's it. Olivia Benson was in the booth. I was waiting for her and
This
Stabler
nigga
to
said an
arrest his
SVU
ass.
rap.
How you gonna say I'm too rich to do stuff like that? Trust me, if I was, I would be caught by now. You know who said that? Weinstein. You know
Mm,
who else said that?
Bill
R.
Cosby.
Kelly.
Kevin
Bill and the
Spacey.
Cosby. Kevin Spacey. You know who
Hey,
else?
I like Kevin Spacey. Hold on now.
I do
I do
too.
too, but he like boy ass more than he like you. So
I mean,
Yeah,
that's okay. I don't like him like that.
we enjoy we enjoy
I
his
didn't want him
movies.
like that.
House
I
of
wait.
Cards was great.
I
Kevin
thought
Spacey is
Kevin.
he has
always
one of my most
funny.
favorite movies of all time. By the way,
I thought which one?
American Beauty.
Oh, that is a good one. I thought Kevin Spacey was found not guilty. I thought he went to court.
Supposedly the young guy who said it recanted.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
well.
so we'll see how far that goes. And
I
he's
mean, if Raya was here, you know who she would talk about in the instance like that.
that is true.
She
That is
would
true.
bring up Michael Jackson on a heartbeat and say that he was
Michael didn't touch
guilty.
Oh,
them goddamn kids. I'm sick and tired of it. He
Raya
touched
does
them with the
I,
Raya
he
does not
touched
agree with
them.
you, sir.
I don't care what Rhea agrees or don't agree with. Rhea has done things to an unwashed penis, and I do not validate her speech. And I will say it to her in her face, y'all
did
don't
he
worry.
say unwashed?
Not an unwashed. And
Go back to older episodes of the podcast. She tells the story. I'm not making it up. It actually happened.
oh, I
Yes.
remember. Oh
So
Yo,
I cannot say her words are validated. No,
that
Oh,
is the
Michael
most
ja-
hilarious
the
shit
shitty doo
ever.
wop
Michael
penis.
Jackson
Yeah.
did not touch them kids, but he touched their hearts with the power of music. And that is it, and that is all. Say
And
what you
that's
want.
what that's when we get the little rainbow across the screen.
The
When
more
you say that, the more
the
you
more
know.
you know, ho, the better you grow. So don't go there. Don't go there with me. Don't play them
Good
games. Let
God
Mike be
Almighty.
Mike. No, I'm
Oh shit,
I can't,
that is
Anthony.
hilarious.
Anthony is a Michael Stan. He said he did not touch them kids. You know he don't want to hear nothing about it. Okay.
I will moonwalk a mud hole in your ass if you dare. Don't you
That
ever
is
disrespect. No,
hilarious.
don't do it. Don't
I
do
would
it.
like to see
Don't
that,
do it
sir.
to him. Don't do it to Prince. Just don't.
I
I
would like
don't
to see
need
that.
I don't need it. Those are the two artists I will forever
Wait, did Prince
stand
get
for.
accused of something?
With old girl,
Prince got
my
accused of being gay.
Maite?
Maite, she was
What did he
young.
do to Maite? Oh,
She
was
was a
she?
youngin.
I didn't know
Supposedly
she was that young.
she was like 17,
I knew
18
she
when she
was
met him,
young.
but
I didn't know she.
yeah,
Oh,
I ain't gonna
and
lie.
there was a
18.
baby
Michael Jackson was
situation.
having
Our
7-year-olds.
Hollywood was fucked up, but
I
y'all
knew.
Hollywood was fucked up.
I knew about the. I knew she had the baby. I just
The
didn't
baby
realize how young she
situation, yeah.
was.
Yeah. But again, these are all tales from the tour bus, and it is what it is. But Mike didn't touch them kids. I don't care. I'm gonna hold on to that. I will play Thriller in your goddamn face.
Anthony, you don't speak for the. You don't. This whole. I just saw these text messages you sent to Raya talking about. Okay, you are forgiven. No, she not. Don't say she's forgiven for the group. I don't forget that bitch. She is not fucking forgiven. And I just put
And the
that in the goddamn group chat. You are not forgiven, ho.
and my phone just
Damn.
buzzed as you say this, and I'm like,
You
oh, okay.
don't speak for the group, sir.
I
Talking about
wasn't
you're
speaking for the
forgiven.
I
Her
wasn't
and
speaking for the group.
her
Did it
and
say
the
group
African
said?
American can eat my
But
ass with a fork and a spoon. A fork and a spoon.
did the text say, we forgive you? I just
I,
said, you're forgiven. And what
it's
name
not.
does it come up? Did it come up as Helene Britt Anthony? Did it come up as Helanthony? No. It came up
Anthony.
as Anthony. I speak for me, you speak for you. But
Oh,
look, we
she
got to
was
move
smart.
on because we got
She
a
was smart.
really serious. We're going to get serious now. So
We've never
Middle
been
East.
serious.
No, we're gonna get Middle East. No, not Middle East. We're gonna go Middle Passage serious
Oh, middle passage. That is serious.
and
But it's
acting. No, serious. I can't say what I used to say that I got from an old coworker because I'm still trying to get a job, so I'm gonna be quiet. I'll say it after the show. Um, so we are okay. We record on a Sunday. The elect by the time this thing hits, no, we drop on Mondays, so we will still have one day till the end of the world, better known as Election Tuesday
election
or
day.
Super Tuesday, Election Day. And I really want to talk about just the campaigns and just this whole election process as a whole for this election. It has been dramatic. It is really, let me stop. This is a fucking Tyler Perry election. This feels like a Tyler Perry movie we living in.
With just as bad of hairdos. So yes,
Yes. With America as the light skinned black woman who caught the AIDS because she had a bad moment with a dark skinned black man.
this
I,
nigga
I
said that caught
feel
the
like,
AIDS.
and Donald Trump is the light skinned Negro with the cornrows that's going to save her, or so he tells us.
Just out here,
No,
just lying. Okay,
he is
doing
the
light skin
Shamar.
things, just
Yeah,
lying.
he's the
Okay.
Shamar Moore of the situation. But no,
No, he is definitely no. Trump would be the Blair Underwood of the situation.
oh,
He's the
just a
one
straight
that they
villain.
think, yes, they think is good, and he looks the part, and then behind closed doors, he is whooping some bitch from between the putting her head between the wash machine and the dryer on a nightly goddamn basis.
Okay, all right. Okay, I agree with that. I will ride with that. Okay, so damn, and I like Blair Underwood.
I do too, but
Mm,
he is the villain.
he is the villain. But no, I think it all just got crazy with the debate earlier this year. That debate in June that took us all for the wait. Was it in June? The debate hit between
No.
him and
I don't remember.
Biden. See, it's all a
Oh,
blur.
yeah.
Oh, the first
Wait,
debate. You're
the
talking about the
first
first
debate.
debate?
The first and only debate between him and Biden,
Thank God.
because yes, amen to that. Um,
It
Biden
was
had
June. Yeah, it was in
June.
June.
Okay, so Biden had his "I didn't drink my Geritol" moment, and everybody and their mama said, "You got to go. Be we need you gone. You are gonna ruin it for us." But what got me was all the polls that they were reading still had him in a dead heat. No up, no down, no. Oh my God, this is the end of the parties in America. Trump wins it in a landslide. It stayed as a dead heat. But I think the madness of everybody just yelling, the Democrats are just going insane, like, nah, you have to go, really changed the way I think I look at how this political process goes when it
That
comes
was
to
such a
elections.
bad look as the for the Democrats as a whole to outright and publicly like shame Biden, regardless of if it's true or not. That is one thing that I will
Hmm.
say about especially MAGA Republicans. They will ride till the wheels fall off. They're not going to
Oh yeah,
publicly shame anyone. Regardless, they might say, "Well, I don't really, it's it's what he." They're not going to publicly come out and shame anybody the way that it seems like Democrats came out and publicly shamed Biden. But
right.
what do you say to people that say, okay, that was the turning point for Biden? But what do you say to those that would be like, well, Kamala was really not our, the person that we wanted. She was thrown on us
Yeah,
because Biden,
step
backed
down.
out. What do you say? What do you even say to that?
It's really
There
nothing
are
you can.
Republicans who say Trump is not our guy. He just got thrown on us.
That is true. That is true. But they're
That's
not
true.
loud. They're not the
No.
No,
loudest ones, and that's the thing. They're not coming in and saying, "Well, I mean, now you have Liz Cheney. You got people like Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger. There's a
Quite a few
few
of
others.
them.
Hell,
There were over
Dick.
200 at her rally,
Right,
Republican for Kamala, like
and
prominent political figures.
they're saying it, but again, is it swaying those? And I know they keep yelling the Nikki Haley Republicans, the ones who wanted Nikki so bad, but then they look at who they were supporting, and she went tap dance for the orangutan himself.
they all do
Ap-
in the end. They all do. Every single one of them does. Now Chris Christie is back on The View doing interviews saying that Trump ain't shit. But when he was running against you and calling you a fat motherfucker and then you lost and then you started tap dancing right behind him saying endorse Trump, like y'all all come and do the same thing. When he called Ted Cruz's wife fucking ugly and said his daddy got Kennedy shot or whatever the stupid shit he said, y'all hated each other and all of a sudden it's oh Ted's the guy and
This ain't
Trump's
an
my guy
endorsement for
and
Trump. I don't endorse that motherfucker, but I will tell you this. The one thing I appreciate about him, I always know where he stands.
yeah,
for
he
I
doesn't
himself.
hide.
always know where he stands. I always know what he likes and what he don't like and where he stands. I genuinely appreciate people like that because if you can't appreciate somebody like that, then you just can't appreciate some things about life. Like having that ability to really understand where a person is, so you know how to maneuver with them or against them, is a beautiful thing. And I think this election, people are putting so much stock in their own personal feelings that it can almost blindside them to like what really matters, right? Like it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard having these conversations with people because the focal point for a lot of example for like Kamala, right, is the body rights for women, right? And I'm
Kamala.
all for Kamala. I'm sorry, and I agree 100% with everything that she's saying, but it's just like you're reaching in one bucket. And for a presidential candidate, that got to be hard to kind of reach 90 million different buckets, right? Like you got to try to figure
Right.
out what appeals to everybody. And I don't know what it is about Trump where he just touches a lot of them buckets for, unfortunately, our people. I really
Well,
Do
and
hate to
you
say
know
that.
where do you know where he stands because of what he says or what you have to wait and see he does?
No, no, no.
Because
He's
what he
shown us more
says
and more.
and what he does are not the same thing.
Correct,
What he
correct.
says he stands for. So where's the validity in that? Oh, I know where he stands, but you have to wait and see what he does to know where he stands, and he feeds you these lie after lie after lie
Well, that's
to
the
see
stance
where
right
you can
there. We know that he's a
clap.
compulsive liar. That's the
And
But
when
stance.
did that become okay?
So, but
yeah,
I
when
and
agree
if
with
you're
that. I
saying,
agree with that.
but if you're saying you know where he stands, you know where he stands regardless of good, bad, or indifferent. But then you turn around and say, but he's a compulsive liar. Do you really know where he stands if he's a compulsive liar?
No, no, no. When I say I know where he stands, if I know that he's a compulsive liar, that means everything that he says to me, I literally have to take with a grain of salt. Everything. I love having that kind of ability with people. Like if I know that you're a compulsive liar, mm, this motherfucker just said he just got 90 bricks. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? It's not believable.
why
That's what
why
I
you got to
mean.
put Jay Z in your conversation? Why you got to bring up Jay Z? He lost
so
90 bricks. Leave him alone. It
But to
happens.
be
so
honest, like that stance is the exact same stance every middle-aged white suburban soccer mom has about her cheating husband.
I
Right.
agree with that 100%. So it's kind of like it sucks,
Like, well, I know what he does, but he pays the mortgage.
and that's a terrible thing. Like that's super terrible. Like it's again just for me personally because I know he a piece of shit. I know how to walk around him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not
But
really
how
a
Yeah.
many how many people are also saying, "I know he's a piece of shit," and then and then in the middle of that sentence comes the but, but I'm still gonna vote for him. Like, when
that's a
did it
nice chunk of people.
become? When did it be? Oh, I know it is. When did it
That's
become?
77 million
Right.
people
Like, when did it
who
become
did that.
I'm going to vote for a known piece of shit because, or the with the butt. Like, where does the butt stop? Because it takes something affecting them personally for the butt to finally stop.
And
And it's
that's
like
why it hasn't stopped.
we've seen these interviews of people that are like, well, I voted for him the first time around. I'm not voting for him the second time. Well, why? Was it because he talked about women or he talked about minorities or he talked about Puerto Rico or he talked about this one? No, it was because, and they give some statement that is to us minute, but to them it was something grandiose because it was specific to them.
To them.
The money thing, perfect example. The money thing. Obama just talked about this. Trump had everybody thinking he was the reason that everybody was getting extra money, when in reality, nah, that was a government thing as a whole. But
I
because
mean,
it sounded good, he made it look. He made it look. He dressed it up and made it sound good for
But
people to believe that.
the thing is that he did what other presidents didn't do. He
correct.
did what he does in business. He puts his name on it.
He put
Yeah,
his
Trump
stamp
really
on it.
doesn't own all the buildings that people think he owns. He just
He
puts
just
No.
his
makes sure he
name
puts his
on it.
fucking name on them.
He licensed his name. So he's a snake oil salesman.
that's
Damn
all it
good at it
is.
too. I give him props. But one of the craziest things is it finally I wish the Democrats would have done it. And this is where they fail for me. They never cheer their branding. They never promote themselves in the way that Republicans do. And I'm not talking about being ugly, being doing dumb shit. I'm talking about, hey, you see that healthcare thing you got? That's us. You see those roads
Well,
in your little
but they branded for us because the Affordable Care Act is the
was
Affordable Care Act.
Care
But
Act.
to them,
It's Obamacare.
correct.
But again, what I'm saying is like, okay, infrastructure. Y'all remember infrastructure week? Y'all remember infrastructure week?
In high school.
No, nobody really does. It was something that Trump came up with in 2019, where it was going to be a
I
full
just read
week
about it. Yeah.
of strong infrastructure and spending and blah blah. And we're going to put money into America and rebuild roads and bridges and da da da. That shit came and went,
It was as silent as Mexico paying
gone.
for the wall.
Exactly. But
That
you
people are
see,
still saying, "Oh, the wall, the wall, the wall." And I'm like, "How are y'all glossing over this entire Mexico's paying for the wall?" And then the president of Mexico is like, "Bitch, I ain't paying for nothing." Like in
Exactly.
a whole commercial said, "I ain't paying for a fucking thing."
yeah,
Oh.
and the
In a
beauty
couple
of it
different
is
languages.
true, pendejo. And I'm like, yes, sir, I understand that. But everything that he does is just marketing. It
But
doesn't mean it's gonna actually happen.
Yep.
But it seems
Now
like
he
the marketing, when Democrats try to market themselves Republicans then look at it as, oh, see, that's another government official getting rich, and that's another government. Because, mind you, President Obama wrote books, Michelle wrote books, they
Yeah.
got money off of book deals and things. But God forbid, they're like, oh, they went from this to this while he was in office and he became a million. He's taking bribes and so when they do try to impart their name on things, Republicans look at it as a talking point to talk about, oh, we'll see over there. He got rich
Yeah.
while he was in office
But to
and he became a
Anthony's
millionaire while he was in office. Where when they do it, it's smart business. But when somebody else does it, it's they're cheating the system or they're taking bribes from
but
people
to
or they're
Anthony's
taking
point,
money from somebody or some shit like that.
that ain't nothing but like Anthony said, that ain't nothing but marketing. Literally all marketing. That's just like somebody telling you something. Perfect example. You ever had somebody tell you something and then they wouldn't no, you ever told somebody something and then they went back to somebody else just to make sure that they was getting the same information correctly?
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on now and shit. We're telling them the Republicans can be like, hey, this is this right here, right? Or the Democrats can be like, this is this right here. And the Republicans can be like, come here, let me tell you a different way. They telling them the same damn thing. They just twisting it around and shit. That's all it is. Marketing. Marketing is just that they have. I will give them this. Republicans have really found a way to really market to the plights of certain communities and shit. And it depends on what community that look like. He just said Puerto Rico was
Hmm.
a floating island of trash, right?
Well, he didn't say it. Let's not do that. That
Correct.
don't.
One of
That's the
his
one
one of
thing
his
I
officials,
I hate.
right?
Yeah.
One of
No,
his
it's not
A
an
officials.
official. It was
comedian
a
and a
comedian.
comedian
It was a comedian.
That
at a
was vetted,
rally.
that all his jokes were put
Were
into a
vetted.
teleprompter.
Hmm.
Right.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
I
okay.
apologize for
They
So
that.
and he ran the whole thing by
well,
them the day
thing,
before. They knew exactly what was going to be
but
said. They, in fact, they
but
took out a joke about calling Kamala Harris.
Harris a cunt.
Thief.
You could
Oh,
say it.
Yeah,
It's YouTube. We don't care.
they took it out.
Yeah,
So
he called
they
her
I
the
were
c
apologize.
word.
I
editing
thought
it.
that was
They
official.
left
I thought that was
everything.
an
That
official on his
is
No,
team.
that is crazy that
no.
even that a comedian would even come up with a joke calling the sitting vice president of the United States a cunt
Right.
and would even have the balls to be like, yeah, I'm gonna throw that joke in there. And not at a private set. Like if you do it at a private set or you're at a club or some shit and you want to
Hmm.
call her whatever you want, fine. But you had such big balls to come to the to a
A rally.
rally, a televised rally, and be like, I'm gonna call the sitting vice president of the United States a cunt.
It's always a moment.
But it
Like
was
Always.
that is
right,
crazy.
and but it was taken out. But also,
Because
to
trust and believe, if that shit had happened at a Kamala, excuse me, you got me saying her name wrong now, at a Kamala Harris rally or whatever, and somebody had called Melania Trump a cunt,
That should have been running for the rest
nigga,
of the year. For
Right.
the rest of the year.
but again, you also got to look at the way media is oversaturated, overhyped, and really everything is they just fall short of actual journalistic integrity and giving information
Yeah.
because Trump said something in 2020, well 2021 that hit hit like gangbusters, and I give him that one. When he looked dead in the camera during that little trashy ass rally that turned into, the siege upon the Capitol, and told him, "You're gonna miss me. All these news outlets, you're gonna miss me.
Oh yeah.
I'm the
He's
reason you're
great for
what
the
you
news
are.
and
You were able to
media.
eat right now.
You were eating."
Comedians, late night talk show hosts, like
Yep.
they, from a business standpoint, they hope he wins.
Yeah.
Because look at Joe,
You know
everyone
what,
was like
Colleen? I hate how
flocking to
right you
fight.
are. I hate how spot on right you are. Like, that's dead ass. Like, they're going to eat. If he wins for the next 4 years again, they get to eat like kings again. Kings and
Oh my
queens.
But
God.
but if he does, and people say, well, don't take for what he says, look at his actions. Well, let me tell you something. His
what
words and his
actions?
actions are they're gonna add up. If he's
Third
talking
word.
about, I want to shut down networks because they're not saying anything that kiss
Because they're
my
not
orange
nice to
ass,
me.
they're
I
not
want,
nice to
yeah.
me, this is game over. So
But y'all
all
are
the
the same people
comedians,
that don't want to get on Facebook because of censorship. You don't want to get on. whatever platform because of censorship, but a candidate for the United States government, the president, is saying that if they don't say what I like, I'm gonna shut they shit down. And y'all are like, yes, do it. The
And
fuck?
it's
But
because
be
they feel
screaming
like,
freedom of speech.
right. But again, keep in mind, it's always about, like Helene said earlier, if it don't affect me. I'm
Yeah.
not the one he's talking about. You remember the Chris Rock joke
Exactly.
where he was talking about rappers and women when um he said, "Boy, rappers be saying some shit. Slap her with the dick, slap her with the dick, slap her with the dick, slap her with the dick." And they got women twerking and shaking their behinds, and he's like, "Slap that bitch, punch that bitch, kick that hoe, throw that hoe." And you're looking at the woman like, you dancing this? And he's like, "You ain't
They ain't
talking
talking about
about me?
me. Yeah.
Slap her with the dick, slap her with the
They
dick."
don't mean me.
That's
They're
what
not talking about me.
a lot of
Right.
this
Yeah.
is. It doesn't affect me, so I don't care. If you suffer, that's okay. If
That's
I
on you.
suffer, then then there's drama. And the biggest problem with all of that, and look, this is not me sounding bitter. I've worked in television for 25 years of my life. Whether it's local or national, it all runs the same way. Ratings is king, money is queen. And as long as that hierarchy, that royalty is moving and ruling, they don't care. They don't care if you're being misled. Now, you will get some journalists who are like, no, 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 hold up. This is wrong. We have to
One
correct
girl on
ourselves.
Fox and Friends. What's her goddamn name?
The little Democrat girl, lady,
Baby, she
the
be
one
giving
that's on
their
the
asses the
five.
business on the five.
But you see, that's one voice in a crowd of loud
Mm-hmm.
ass uninformed people. But you hope that voice will get louder than them. It's like with CNN. CNN got Dana Bash. Now Dana Bash is supposed to be the Republican anchor. You ever watch her interviews? There are times where I love that term now. She's sane washing Donald Trump. She's trying to explain what this dumbass just said. I don't need you to explain the insanity. It's insane.
But he's got
It's
them
what
so
it is.
ingrained. He's got them so ingrained to listen to this whole, well, the media's twisting my words. You can play an actual sound bite. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying exactly what's coming out of your mouth. How am I twisting the words that are coming out of, oh, Puerto Rico is a floating island of garbage. Well, you're twisting what he said. How the fuck am I twisting that?
That's
Like
exactly
it
what
came
Well,
out of
somebody
his mouth
said.
that
let's be
way.
honest. Reporting live from the white community. The issue at hand is that the people who support Trump, whether they're vocal about it or not, the people who will not vote for Harris, um, what that comes down to is they're either attaching their white identity or their masculinity to Trump winning.
I was
Mm-hmm.
just about to say that because
Yeah.
what it
Just
really
like that.
boils down to is they don't really want a woman being in the head of
And
the
they don't
United
want a black
States.
woman. And white men,
Strike
and
two.
I post about this all the time. How far do you think white men will go to keep this idea of them being at the top of society?
As long as possible.
They've done
That's
it
Because
many a
that's the
if
time.
hierarchy
he
that they were
As
wins,
taught.
long as
what
possible.
does that say about them?
They losing the power.
Well, there was
And
a saying many, I don't
Insecurity.
remember how, I
government
don't
on
remember
that.
how it goes, but it goes like you don't you white men, it's something about white men feeling like what the minority is, but if everything is so equal, why would you have a problem with feeling like a minority? Because you know that it's
Mm-hmm.
not actually equal. So you would
Right.
never want to be on the same foot as them or be
That
the
was a word.
replacement and turn into the minority because you know it's not fucking equal. You know it's not fucking
Right.
fair.
That was
Well,
a word.
again,
Well,
yeah.
can I tell you there's an article, uh, Life on the Lowest Difficulty Setting, which is about white men. You can look it up. I can send you a link.
Bitch,
But it
wait,
talks
wait,
about
wait. What is the
how
name of the article?
uh,
They
life
made a video
on
game reference.
Life on the
yeah, on the lowest
lowest.
difficulty setting. So basically
Bitch.
saying that white men play the
Love
game
it.
of life on the lowest difficulty setting. And
Mm-hmm.
so they face the same things that a lot of people do, but they face it at a much lower level. But to them, it still feels like this horrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
But the truth is, they go through life. They've been taught that they are who they are and what they look like gives them the right to get what they want. And so when something comes up against that,
Mm-hmm.
what? They don't want equality. They don't want everything to be equal. They want to be able to play their game here while Kamala not only has to play her game down here, she can't even mention that she's Black or a woman. That would
Mhm.
destroy her
Wait,
campaign. So while he can
Kamala Harris is
campaign
black?
on his
Exactly.
beautiful white, oh, sorry, on his beautiful white skin that he was saying in the rally, oh, my beautiful white skin, my beautiful white skin.
Mhm.
She can't even mention the color of her skin
Well,
because
okay,
that hurts her, because that
right.
reminds these people who have convinced themselves that she's a better option than Trump, the ones that are in the middle, these so-called undecided voters, which I call the pick-me's of 2024. Who is undecided, really? But
Right.
she has to be so careful not to tilt that scale back over to him,
Mm-hmm.
not to make them uncomfortable enough to not vote for her, which is ridiculous because Obama campaigned on being the first Black male president, and that hit the top. That was the message. Everyone celebrated that. Hillary Clinton campaigned on being the first woman president and how she was looking in the eyes of young girls across the nation and what they could do and what they could be. Kamala Harris has not got to speak one time about her ethnicity, about her being a female, about what her becoming president could mean to all these marginalized communities. Because at the very base of how our society was founded, everyone was taught that white people were superior, whether it was told to them or they just saw it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I asked my kids, my son was in trouble. But I asked my kids, I want you to think about a kid at your school who is always in trouble, always in detention, always getting in trouble, you know? And I said, what color was that kid? And they both said Black. My kids go to a school where 70% of the children at that school are Indian. The next majority is white. There's a very smaller portion of them are Black. But
Mm-hmm.
my kids immediately thought of a Black kid when they thought about a troublemaker in the school. Now, I didn't teach them that. They're in high school now, so they've gone through this school system where
Surroundings.
even if you
Mm-hmm.
ask a teacher that question, like I asked the principal that question, and I said, well, what color is that kid you're thinking of? And she said, I'm not a racist. I'm a I told her the degree of octaves that your voice just went up tells me different. 92% of teachers have some type of implicit bias.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just teachers. Let's think about the entire society. Implicit means you're not doing it intentionally. You don't even, if you even know about it, you don't know where it comes from. It's just generally there. 92%. So unless you're convinced that 8% are in your school,
Mm-hmm.
then as a principal, you should be actively working against that.
Right.
In my job, I have implicit bias. So every time I have an interaction with a customer, I have to intentionally work against that. It's a choice you have to make every single time until hopefully generations from now, it's not a thing.
Right.
But in our society right now, everyone has some type of implicit bias as to why Kamala
Mm-hmm.
Harris would not make a good president. And it has nothing to do with whether Trump would make a better president.
Right. Well,
This
and
hotep
So
moment has been brought to you by one Miss Colleen Murphy.
ah, well,
I
I'm
but I
just
just
will.
saying that I think it's just a disgrace
Smoke
to
that.
Black women who I feel Black women are
Mm-hmm.
a cornerstone of this country, period. They, if you really opened your eyes and looked, let me slow down.
It's well.
They are
I'm.
successful in every area of this society. They're the most educated segment of our country. They take care of themselves. They take care of what could potentially happen to their kids, the biases they'll have to deal with. They're the backbone in their relationships. They're the backbone in their communities. And then they're at the top of companies. And yet still they get the least respect. There's never been an amendment or a law that has gone out to society as Black women have the right to this. Black men got the right to vote. White women, well, the white was implied because Black women still weren't let to vote. And then Black women just kind of get to file in line at the back, like, okay, let's see if they let me vote. And
I want
so
to.
our society never makes any type of concessions, never does anything to help them. And really it stems back to
Hmm.
the 15th Amendment
Right.
because all Black people, white women, Black women, they were all trying to get the right to vote. But when the white men came back and basically said, okay, we'll give the right to vote to one of you, there
Roll
was
the
a
dice.
huge divide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
White
Hmm.
women came out saying, why would you give the right to to Black men instead of educated white women?
Right.
And Black men were saying, look, just we deserve the because also
We're
mm,
men.
Black men have a bias against women as well. They, because white men created this system, and everybody was like, okay, like you said, as long as I'm in there, as long as somewhere in there I get a right to vote. White women who bow to the needs of their white husbands, it took another 50 years for them to get the right to vote. And they still were so thankful for it and so
Hmm.
grateful for it.
And they're still bowing to the needs of their husbands because their husbands are in those households telling those
Exactly.
women how they need to vote. We've
Exactly.
seen
Well.
And if
we have
Trump
seen it
wins,
firsthand with former coworkers.
Hmm.
well, if Trump wins, they believe that their whiteness and their husband's whiteness will protect them from these things that are being said. And when it comes down to it, and I am not a person that makes excuses for other people. But when I look at how different segments of society vote, I
Hmm.
have a friend, great friend, huge Republican. We don't agree on any of that. But I understand why she votes the way she votes because Trump's policies benefit her, her husband, and most importantly, her kids. Whether I like that or not, whether I like what it does to everybody else, I think Democrats vote on what's best for everyone and what's best, even if they have a privilege. Okay, vote for the rights of the marginalized people around you.
You know what I like about what you just
For
said?
everyone.
I like the fact that you said that you and your friend are still cool, and she was able to express to you exactly why she does what she does. And you know what you just did right there? You still accepted her for who she was as the individual and not what her beliefs was. I really think that's a beautiful thing.
Because I understand it. And if you know what they came out with a president who was all about elevating interracial kids, I have interracial kids, I would vote for that guy, no matter what he was saying, no matter who he grabbed by the pussy. I would vote for that guy.
Right.
I would, because it, especially when you look at
Right.
women make decisions about what's best for their children.
Well, and
And
not.
so even if that guy was saying, we're getting rid of Black men and we're getting rid of white men, we're only focusing on the interracial kids, I would vote for that guy because I want somebody in charge who's best for me and my family. And when it
Hmm.
comes down to it, most people don't have the mental capacity to really dig into this election the way some crazy people like me. I'm
Right.
on podcasts and articles all day. I wake up hoping that I missed something that I can watch. I hope there's no blank space. I keep a earbud in my ear and on the news. Like most people don't have the mental capacity for that. And so when it comes down to it, they just make that feral decision about what's going to be best for them and their
Hmm.
family.
But even with that, sometimes they don't even vote for that. A lot of them vote against their better interests. A lot of
They
them
don't see
just
it
go
that way, though.
right. But that's the strange thing. It's like, well, remember the stories of healthcare.
Right.
Um, Teddy Roosevelt during his administration, they were going to do a universal health care plan. White folks looked at it and said, I'll be damned if you give them darkies health care. That's not
Right.
happening. Gone. And then when we start to look further down the road, even civil rights. Civil rights was not called the be nice to black people bill. It was
No.
just called the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which is
Right.
the second civil rights bill that was act that happened because the other one was in 1865 after the Civil War, right? But everybody else benefits from it. Hell, even white women benefited from it more than our black asses,
Like affirmative action.
like affirmative action.
And you see
But
what
it was,
happened to that. Some
and it
Asians
got
came
kicked
along
out.
and eradicated that. Now they're pissed because their numbers in colleges are down, not knowing that the affirmative action that they were so
Hey,
worried about black people not getting and that they were taking full advantage of is now caused them to have their numbers dwindle
Right.
in Ivy League colleges.
Well,
Like
which,
and
you are
remember, I
cutting, what
told
is the
you that
saying? You
there
cut
was,
off your nose to spite your face. That's
Yeah.
what
and
they're
that's
doing.
I
basically what they
literally
did.
heard on a Republican podcast a parent that suggested that to continue to get her white son into a college, she would have to give him gender transformation so he could be trans, so he could be DEI.
Lord Jesus.
That's the
Okay.
lengths that these people are thinking to hold on to that power and that privilege.
You know, this is why I say if you pick up a book and do a
Any
little
book, babe.
reading, any book,
They're
I don't care if
banning
it's
Any
the
book
book.
at this fucking
just
point.
just
They're banning the
educate
books. They're
yourself.
eating the cats.
You know,
She said
and
they're
They're
banning the
grabbing the
books and
cat.
they're
They're
eating
grabbing
the
the
cat.
cat.
Yeah.
but I wanted to go back on what I'm sorry, I was about to call you Pauline. I'm sorry, Colleen. What Colleen said earlier about
Answer the book.
oh no. I'm gonna call you what your mama call you is what I call you. Oh, but if she says something worse, oh well, I'm not.
I was gonna say, nah, y'all
Um
ain't met Colleen,
Outside of
mama.
Chicago, so what she
no, I have
calls
not.
me is not
Okay.
appropriate.
I will
Them Chicago
I understand.
mamas.
I got you. Well, the thing with me in with Obama's movement really was he was a how can I put it? He was a neutral. Yes, he's a man of color. Yes, he's black. But he didn't come in going, well, I'm going to take care of, black people only.
Right.
He had to come, he had to walk in and say, I'm not the president of black America. I'm not the
Right.
president of white America. I'm the president of the United States of America.
Which
It's
is
not
what
a
Which
you're
is her
red,
supposed to
message as well.
which
which
is what you're
right.
supposed to say. But why are we holding Kamala Harris to the standard
Well,
of, well, what is she gonna do for black men? What the
well,
fuck?
but well, hold.
What did
This is
Trump
where
do
I'm.
for y'all?
Well, this is what I'm getting at. Trump can be it, and everybody's been saying it. A lot of black women on online have been saying it, and now reporters and journalists and anchors are saying it. But it's true. Trump can walk these streets and be lawless, while sorry, y'all. Kamala Harris has to be absolutely flawless, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm loving and what she's doing,
That's a
and
bar.
Charlemagne brought this up in their conversation, and I was happy he did it, and I'm so happy she stood on business with this. When he asked her, "You're doing this plan for black men in America, right? The economic plan,
Mhm.
and hey, we want you to know that these programs are here already for small business startups, the child tax credit, all these things were already there. This is what I'm gonna do and make it even better and easier to obtain.
Right.
Stopping redlining because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, redlining still exists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he said, well, a lot of politicians feel you're shooting yourself in the foot or you're damaging your campaign if you're going to focus on black men. Don't you think, do you think that's real? And she just goes, that's not true. That's not true. I lived amongst, and at first when I say, I was like, oh my God, why did that sound like Jane Goodall with the apes?
The apes.
But,
I live
but no,
amongst them.
I live amongst them. But no, like she says, I've been through this. I've lived through this. I have known, I have. black black family members who are going through this. I know what I want to take care of. And this is not saying I'm going to just take care of this because I'm going to take care of everything else. It's one of those things where I want people to know that the programs are there for you and they will be there for you. And with Obama, Obama was like, nope, I'm a president of all people. And Kamala Harris is doing that as well. Because she wouldn't have sat, if she wasn't, she wouldn't have sat down with Palestinian Americans or Middle Eastern Americans, Arab Americans who are pissed off with Israel and what's going on in Gaza. She would have told them straight up, F you, I'm done. I ain't got to talk with y'all. Y'all go
Like
back to
Trump does.
Dearborn. Yeah. And here's my thing. Why y'all ain't acting the damn fool at a Trump rally?
That part.
Y'all come big tough and bad yelling in this war, and it's Arab Americans, it's white Americans, and there are black Americans and other Americans a part of it, and that's cool because that's what America is about. We have the freedom to protest, but I don't see y'all protesting at the Trump rallies. I don't see
Right.
y'all yelling at Donald Trump. We want free Palestine, and Palestine should be a state. I don't hear that. But y'all do it at the Democrat rallies. And I get it. Well, she's the vice president, but she is not the president. She can't make those laws. She can't make those rules. She can help, which she's been doing. She can have the
Breaking
conversations.
these tie, making these tie voting,
Right.
breaking these
And she
ties.
can she can do these things. She is the tiebreaker in chief. If you really want the chief tiebreaker, when it came
Right.
down to it, she's been doing her job. But also, name a vice president that
Name.
everybody
Tell
says,
me
God
something Mike
damn, that
Pence
is the
did.
greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
your
what the
favorite
fuck did
Tell me
Mike
what
Pence
Al Gore
law
do?
did.
enact? Favorite vice president initiated law
Nobody.
or change?
Thank you.
Nobody knows.
You can't. So when we look at it and we start going off, and I'm gonna get to us. I'm gonna get to black men because we this is the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't see where you are still undecided.
Hmm.
I have my
You're
my
not.
my my Instagram feed is hilarious because you know how we as black folks and we hear our elders don't ever put your shit out on the street. We done broke that law and that rule for so long. We have been letting everybody know our business since the jump. We have been telegraphing, telegramming, telephoning, telecommunicating all the fuck shit to everybody. We're not keeping it in the house no more. We feel like if we gotta say, well, Kamala Harris ain't black. She ain't FD. She ain't what is it? FBA. She ain't ADOS. The fuck that got to do with it? Well, she don't want
Nothing
to
at
do
all.
reparations. Well, she don't want us to have reparations. No, she never said you shouldn't have reparations. She said let's study it and make it right. Because we can't just come in and say, "Hey, Joe, Jamal, Demir,
Right. Like,
You
where the
Dakir,
fuck do
deserve
they
Rico,
think that
this.
she's just? They
you
think she's just
deserve
gonna walk
this."
in the office and start handing out money. The president does not control the purse strings of the nation.
It's
Like,
Congress.
But
how do
that's
you
what
motherfuckers still not figure this shit out?
remember
But they
remember
did
how
it
we
to
was talking about
Obama.
earlier. I was just about to say, remember how we was talking about earlier about Trump just having the ability to just say shit and it resonates for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
The money thing, that's what I was talking about earlier. It's people to this day that still make jokes calling Trump Uncle T and shit like that because they feel like he was the reason that people got
I'm gonna
extra
get that
money.
stimmy.
Yeah, you know what I'm
And
saying?
guess
It's
what
just like,
A
happened?
funky, and I'm like, y'all got this funky ass stimulus, and y'all don't even realize that if you dumb asses did taxes the following year, you
You
gave
paid it
the
back.
stimmy right the fuck back. Like,
And Obama
what do
and
y'all not
Biden gave
understand?
out stimulus.
Yes, we have
Exactly.
gotten stimulus check, and that's what I want to say. How old are you people? Is it like, was this y'all's first stimulus check, or y'all fucking 18, 19,
only
20?
difference
That was
is
the
they
first
got it
one
in
that
their
y'all
checks
got?
versus getting it at tax time. That's the only difference.
Well, and
Like, I
also
am not
the name.
understanding the whole stimulus check thing. Like
Look,
that little measly ass couple dollars.
the moment I saw Donald Trump's EKG reading hand signature on that
That nigga
shit,
say EKG reading.
I'm just like, okay, you know what? This
I was
makes
thinking,
no.
oh, if you've seen his EKG, I'd love to see that.
Oh, it's. I'm gonna be really quiet
That
because
shit is
they say
probably just butter and cholesterol just
yeah,
showed up on that motherfucker.
Oh man.
it's just little blips of Colonel Sanders just
Right.
showing
And
constantly.
make and chicken nuggets and shit. Like, come the
But
fuck
I
on.
love my dino nuggets.
Not the dino nuggets. But it's
but it
unfortunate that Kamala had to have a whole action plan of action specifically geared towards black men. And I'm not mad at it. It's great. But what other people hear is it's always an either or. It's never
hmm
in conjunction to.
yeah.
Oh, you see, she only wants to do things for black men. That's not what the fuck she said. Did y'all
At
hear anything
all.
she said? She did
And
not say anything like she was only focusing on black men.
At
She
all.
right.
said a
Nothing
whole
in
lot
her
of other
plan
shit.
excludes anyone.
That part.
White women can benefit from the first time home buyers. They can benefit from
Thank
The
the
you.
the
luxury
Child
child
home.
tax cut.
tax care credit.
Everyone can benefit from it. The
Oh,
fact that
small
it
businesses.
could potentially benefit black men more is really the divisive factor.
That part.
Well, but and
So
here's
it
my
doesn't
thing.
matter that I could do it too.
Yeah,
Like,
and
where does
that's
that put us on the playing field if I could do it and he can do it?
I should not be able to look at that black man eye to eye and look at him as an
Right.
equal. And I shouldn't have to look at this black woman as an equal. And that's the thing. But you can't say that this country is about equality
All
When
if
lives
we ain't
matter.
being
and
equal.
there's no
All
and ain't
lives
nobody
matter.
equal, you know.
Because
And that
equality in our country is dependent
On your skin
on
color.
this. Oh, look at my notes here. Hold on. The quality of
you
equality,
prepared, we're not.
yeah,
I mean,
in
I
our
do have
in
stuff in my
our
phone on
country
occasion.
is dependent on white people accepting the fact that their idea of this superiority they have is not legitimate.
Correct. There can
And
only
until
be
they're
true
willing to let
equality.
go of that,
There you go.
then they're never going to see anyone as equal.
Right.
Because they have to,
Never.
in order for there to be actual equality, they have to admit that the shit wasn't equal in the first fucking place. And they're not going to admit that there was not
Well, be like,
equality
whatever,
previous.
boy.
That's never gonna happen. That is
Because
never gonna happen. Maybe
the
in three
slogan of
generations.
Make
Yeah.
America Great Again into itself lets you know that they're on some bullshit.
Because
Because when you
when
ask
they're
them
asked
motherfuckers when was it great,
directly, they have no answer.
Oh,
they
they
give you
haven't
fucked
They
up
have an
shit.
answer, but they're not going to say it out loud.
exactly.
Correct.
They ain't gonna say like when was it great? Well, when niggers
When
knew
we was
their
the,
place.
I was
Oh no,
just
That's
about
when
to
it
I had
was
one.
great.
say.
I had one
And
that I
that's
looked
the
at just
thing.
today, and it wasn't even a political post. I was on IG scrolling cars and trucks and saw a dope ass like 60s Ford that I no, it was a 60s Chevy. It was a 62 Chevy that I thought
hmm
was dope as fuck. And I'm like, "Oh, that's
Impala.
dope as shit." No, it was a Chevy truck, pickup truck.
Ooh. Oh yes,
That
yes,
was
yes.
dope as shit, right?
hmm
He had it like it was a Halloween. He had it looking like tomato for Halloween. I was like, oh, that's cute. So I
Nice.
start going down the dude's page, looking at some other stuff, and sure as shit, not 4 or 5 posts down, it's oh man, the 60s had the greatest cars. If we could just as a society go back to the 60s, and that was the best time, and da 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 da. And I wrote on that, I said, the best time for whom, sir? I said in
hmm
1964, we had finally the Civil Rights Act. I said in 1962, didn't 4 little girls get blown up in a church basement? I'm like in 1965 Civil Rights, 1960. What year did Martin Luther King get assassinated? 60
68.
68. Martin Luther King was assassinated.
hmm
So what part of the we had JFK be assassinated? We had little
Mega
girls
Evers
still
was
getting.
killed in
Thank
64,
you.
I believe.
So,
Yeah,
what
Malcolm
part of
X.
the 60s do you think was so goddamn great that you want to go back to? And somebody before me wrote, well, in the 60s, there were people getting assassinated. He's like, well, there's assassination attempts today. Are you fucking kidding me right
Well, what you
now?
have to
That fucking
understand though
orange pill
is
ain't get
when
assassinated.
they think of make America great again, they're not thinking. They're thinking, when was America great for me, for
Correct.
someone like me? And because you see Republicans of different races and genders, and they're not hollering "Make America Great Again." They might have the flag hat on and the flag leather jacket and might love Trump, but they're not when they think of when the country was great for them. And that's why there's this big divide between Kamala and Trump on the economy, because people have this idea that the economy was better under Trump. And for them, they may have made more money.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about the economy, you have to
Under
look at
Obama's tax
it as
plan.
a whole. You have to
Yep.
look at it as a whole for the country. That's what they're talking about for the country. The United States has the greatest economy in the world right now. And people are still saying, Trump just said it yesterday. Oh, November 5th. I'll make America great again. We'll have the greatest economy in the world. Yes, because it would be passed on to you as the greatest economy in the world, not because you did something. But people have it in their mind that the economy was better under Trump because perhaps they did better. Maybe that $1,500 made a huge difference in their life. I don't know. But, and I know right now because of inflation and even in my own personal life, like my finances are not great. I don't think of this as the greatest economy in my world, but in the world, it actually
Mm-hmm.
is. So you have to be a little more specific. If you thought that the economy was better under Trump, why is that? What was the GDP? What was the inflation rate? Like what tell me about how in the
What?
world the
Mm-hmm.
economy was better in the United States under him. And not only can they not do it, they don't care because people
Right.
only really care about themselves.
Correct.
That's
So when
true.
they say the economy and people on the other side go, "Oh my God, you don't know anything about the economy." They do know about their economy, and
Right.
to them, it was a better economy.
Well, and
So,
again, if we look at it, inflation was up. I think it was at 9% when we were in the. I mean, the thick of it. The highest was 9% inflation.
mhm,
That drops to 2.9 or 2.7 now, and they're talking about it's going to drop again. The Federal
right.
Reserve has already said because of the markets and things, inflation's going to take another drop. Now, that's great numbers. But what we're not paying attention to, and what people don't want to pay attention to, and what Vice President Harris is trying to put the focus on, is these businesses who are not dropping their prices. Hi, bud. I'm almost finished. Boy, wait.
He walked in and waved.
Uh-huh. He want to play Mario Kart so bad.
I ain't
You
mad at him. I
messing up.
would too.
You messing up my YouTube thing. They gonna ask me, is there children in there? No, God, yeah. But the thing is that businesses have not dropped prices.
No,
No grocery chain has said, you know what? Let's go back to the 2019 prices. Why would they?
historic profits. These companies
Exactly.
have histor. The C level people in these companies, their salaries have increased exponentially,
Hmm.
while
And that's
minimum
the
wage is still 7.25.
and but you see when you
Okay.
talk to people like what's that mud duck from, and I said it, I don't care, from Florida, Byron Donalds. Well, show me somebody that's making 725. Cuz come on through.
saying that that's
Welcome
the
to
living
Louisiana.
wage.
Yeah.
Drive through.
Welcome
Drive
to
through.
Louisiana.
Anyway,
Drive through wherever you want. But again, you're going to run with those narratives because it's not about the people you're doing legislation for. It's about the power you can attain if
That's
you
even
roll
crazy.
with this dude. And that's the thing. It's F, you know how we make the joke, F these kids? Well, it's F these citizens if I'm going to be sitting next to power. I'm going to try to hold on to that seat as long as possible. And when you look at somebody like VP Harris, of course, she, in my opinion, I believe she's winning. It's not going to be this massive win, but it's going to be a win. That's me. She can come in and say, y'all, in this administration, in the first 100 days, which I still don't understand why we always look at the first 100 days.
right.
Like, that's a waste of time.
I agree with that. Cause don't shit change in 100 days.
Mm-mm.
Thank you.
You have
That
a hard
woman,
time getting your payment through.
she could come in and walk in and say, y'all, we are blessed. We have the cure for cancer. We have eliminated COVID. We have found clean, renewable energy that is almost damn near infinite. We are bringing down prices of energy. We're bringing prices down with food, your housing. I know I said 3 million. I'm sorry, I lied. We were able to build 10 million units. She coming in like Oprah. Every motherfucker get a house. Low
Right.
interest rates, low mortgages, low and through her administration will find ways to make life better, not just now, but decades to come. And
Yes.
I guarantee you they will find a way to call her everything but a child of God and what her
Mhm.
mama named her.
Mm.
Because you, madam, are not what we need in this seat.
Because
You
we
don't,
don't want you to come and save us. We don't want
yeah,
somebody that looks like you to come and save us.
Right.
because then it shows that we aren't as superior
We
Mhm.
are the
as we were
inferior race.
told.
Yeah.
And then they
And
also
I
have
don't,
to admit that they backed the wrong horse. And
exactly.
people stay in relationships years longer than they should because they're like, even though it's bad, like I've invested all this time in it,
Mm.
and surely I wouldn't invest this much time in
I
something
bought
that's
the
not
I
worth
bought the
it.
Bibles and the watches and the ties and the hats and the shirts and the
Yeah.
sweatshirts and the billboard
But
ads and the flags.
can I tell you a fun fact that I found? So statistically, and I won't give a number because 86% of statistics are made up on the spot. But statistically, Trump supporters, no matter the color, gender, age,
Mm-hmm.
have a lottery mentality, meaning they know that his policies
Mm-hmm.
support the rich, but they truly believe that
Mm.
in their lifetime, they will be at that level.
I saw an
They
article
believe
on
it.
this.
Most white people believe it hands down that they'll be a
Right.
millionaire in their lifetime because they have this lottery mentality. They're one lotto ticket, one Shark Tank idea, one t-shirt design, one dope beat, one whatever away from hitting that million. And
Mm.
then those policies will benefit them too. So they
Mhm.
don't look at it, oh, it's like it's such a bad thing that these rich people are getting these tax cuts because they're thinking, well, that's good because when I'm a millionaire, I'll want those tax cuts.
Yep.
But you know what's real
And they
funny
live
about that?
in poverty. But that's why they think that he's good for them
Mm-hmm.
because they really truly believe that they're either on or about to be on his level and that the choices he makes are good for him. So they'll also be good for them eventually too. And they're willing to sift through the mud until they hit that lucky break.
Well,
Mm.
I like the fact that somebody said it perfectly. It was an economist I was checking out on I think it was on CNBC, one of those places. And he said, I think what mag and I'm gonna call them maggots. I think what maggots aren't understanding is that Trump's economic plan, which there is none, is basically trickle down economics times 10. And what you're going to see is there will not be a droplet from the trickle down. It will stay right
There
here.
has
Now,
been.
and there hasn't been, even when Reagan
It's been
said it, that
proven that it doesn't work.
the millionaires at the time, they're gonna just that money is gonna crest over and it's gonna come down like rain, and it
And they
didn't.
take it in like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, and I laughed the most when he caught it. He said, "Look, let's just be brutally honest. Trump had already said, I'm going to get rid of the federal income tax, right?
Hmm.
And his plan was every American would pay $4,000. That's it. $4,000 to the American government. That's all you pay. One, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000.
Hmm.
How much you want to bet? Not one road, not one bridge, not one
Mm-mm.
public school, not anything.
Thing.
The
So
infrastructure of this country is,
education.
yeah, it's going to be demolished
The
if
school's
he
gonna
were
have
to
to
get
do
this done.
fundraisers for money.
They
Oh,
are.
you know what? I
Especially since
would
he wants to get rid
love
of the
to.
Department of Education as well.
Mm.
You know what I
Yeah.
would love to
How
see?
are the schools gonna be funded? How are the
Well,
roads gonna be made?
Well,
Yeah,
how
they
our co-
don't, but you have to
it's not gonna
understand
use that
that
$4,000 for any of the things that we actually need.
if you, but it, think about it. If the the demographic that is benefiting from Donald Trump and that can say those things are not sending their children to public schools. Like you said, it's what
No.
benefits you or your children. They
Hmm.
could give a rat's ass about my children in public school or your children in a public
Right.
school setting.
Why should
They
I pay
want
taxes for
they
them?
are paying
No.
for their
Exactly.
children to go to whatever, whether it be a Catholic school or
Hmm.
parochial or private school or
Boarding
whatever.
school.
As we
Yeah, in
keep
Yeah.
fact,
saying,
it
if it
benefits
ain't
them
benefiting
because
them,
the lower the education of these public school kids, the better their kid looks.
Of
Well,
course,
and not only that, it also helps private prisons because it's all for profit. So
baby,
it's the,
because the
you
Hotep
know,
herself already did an article on the school to prison pipeline,
yeah.
and we know that is a
So
thing.
so again,
mm,
everything that Colleen you said, everything Helene said, everything, Rico said, all these folks who are literally yelling from the top of their lungs to let these maggots know, hey, I want you to understand that whatever you think you're doing by putting them in office, it's gonna hit me. But my God, it's gonna fuck you. And
But they
if
won't
you're not,
they
Ooh,
won't
and I
admit to
can't
that.
wait.
they no,
But
they
they
don't
won't
have
admit
to.
to it.
They'll never admit to it because you know what they'll do? Well, Brandon, his stupid policies did it, and
Yeah.
those are the no, no, no. It was the tax cut that you lost out on because you're only making 50,000 a year, or you're making, well, here in Louisiana, $30,000 a year. But you have that lottery mentality. I know I can get it. It's gonna come one day, and it was already there, but you didn't want that. You didn't want this so-called, and I love that bullshit that they pull. I don't need these handouts. The fuck you don't.
Right.
You lying right now, and it's not
From the
even
most
funny.
needy of a handout.
because if you didn't
But
need the
Exactly.
that
handouts, you wouldn't be so hard pressed
hell,
about everything.
they did a documentary right after, I want to say right after Obama's second term, where they went to the poorest states, of course, red states, Mississippi's, the Alabamas, the Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and they talked to these white folks that were in these deplorable conditions about going and getting their monthly checks, and they're on, food stamps or WIC or all these government programs. And
Right.
it's like, well, you don't but you voted against. Well, that's different because just like you said, Anthony, well, I don't want them over there to have it, but I deserve it. I should get it because
Yeah.
I deserve it. So that person over there doesn't deserve it, but you think that you deserve it, but yet you still voted against it. So if it gets taken away from you, who are you going to blame? Oh, that one over there is to blame.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's
The
easier to
immigrants are to
point the finger.
blame. The black
Yep.
one
Because
is to
there's
blame.
this
The this
limited
is to
idea
blame.
that it's either one or the other. Whereas the message Kamala Harris keeps putting out is we have more in common
Hmm.
Then we don't.
than what we agree on.
Yeah.
And for most people, the idea, you can think about it, yeah, we really do. But there is that
Mhm.
segment
Yeah.
that
That's
is
true.
offended by that I
But
would have
again,
more in common with an island of floating trash, that I would have more in common with these women. Like there
with
is a
these
section of the
welfare
population
queens
that
and
that message
recipients.
will never meet. But
Yeah.
Welfare
the
queen.
idea, which has not been around for a very long time, that policies can go in place that do benefit the majority of people is not as appealing to them as the idea that policies could go in place that mostly benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they think in order for them to succeed, somebody else has to keep getting pushed down.
Right.
There's not a world, most people don't see a world where everybody gets to succeed.
Well, but that's communism to them, and communism's bad, and that's not
Right.
good. Or it's
But
socialism,
not as
and
bad as
socialism's
fascism.
bad. Right. So here's my thing, and I'm gonna ask this question: Is Joe Butt? It's Joe Budden. Oh, Joe Budden and Joe Biden, they're the same person. I figured out. I cracked the code.
We
That
are
took
on
a
Button's
turn.
internet.
We are on Budden's internet. But here's the thing. Earlier this week, Joe Biden, poor baby, but I gotta give him props for it. Joe Biden made the garbage comment, and I don't think it's hurting Vice President Harris's campaign, but I do think it does have a ripple effect. But I also think, and I want to ask this question: is he right? Because right now it's proven true.
Yes,
It is proven true. After watching the video of that man in South Carolina at the voting place wanting
right.
to fight these black women because they told him, "Hey, there's rules. You should follow them.
Hmm.
Take off the Make America Great cap off. It's a slogan. It's a political slogan. It's for you got to take it down." And he decides to put his hand on a woman and got mollywopped right quick.
As he should have.
And
And
I
what about
wish
the
she
old lady that they told her to take her shirt off, and she took her shirt off and voted in her bra?
yeah,
The old white lady.
but this is the thing.
Why are we
I
going to places like that? I just don't understand that.
Why what?
Why are we showing up to these voting polls with stuff like that? Right? Like we already know that wearing stuff like that is already provocative to some people. Like if you wear
They like it. They
yeah,
like it. They like the vitriol and the hate.
yeah,
They like it. They like it, and they like that they can like it without having to be the one to say.
right. Now,
you're
I
right.
will say only 21 states ban what's called electioneering, which is where if you go to a polling site and you go in there to vote and you have any kind of campaign slogans or you actually have the candidates on any kind of paraphernalia, you cannot vote. You have to leave, change, come back, or
Right.
I'm
put it
not
in your
mad at
pocket,
that.
whatever you got to do. Because it's supposed to be, at the end of the day, the vote is supposed to be sacred, right? It's supposed to be sacred
Yeah.
as well as secret. That's why it's
It's
called secret ballot. Yeah, that's why nobody is sitting next to each other like it's a test and going, "Girl, you voting for I'm voting for Kamala. You voting for Trump? You damn right I am." That's why it's supposed to be covered. That's why they have the little sheets behind you, the little curtains. It's supposed to be you, the ballot, and that's it.
You know what would
Nobody
be
else should get
interesting though?
involved.
The most interesting shit would be what if they made lines for the people that you're voting for and you got to actually see who people are actually voting for. I wonder what that would do to America.
Oh, you'd
Where
see
I
a lot
vote,
of
they say,
divorce.
especially, well, in the primaries where I vote, they say Democrat or Republican.
Who does that?
Yeah.
But I
And
will
Oh
tell you, Trevor
wow.
Noah did a very interesting podcast this week about the vote being secret and how in South Africa, when they first got the right to vote, you literally had to keep your vote secret. Your life could depend on it.
right,
So
right.
if you want to listen to that, he did a podcast this week about it.
Yeah,
So
and you see
yeah, it should
uh,
be secret, sacred. It should be a choice that you make.
mhm. And you're voting for your best interests, but again, many don't. It is what it is. And I laugh because again, was it no, it was Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle hit the nail on the head when he said it. The one thing white folks will never tell you is who they voted for at that time. Let's be honest. And he's like, So so Jeff, who did you vote for? Excuse me, Dave. I don't know. I don't divulge or anything like that. What I do in the voting booth is my thing and it's my blah blah blah. Well, so I was fucking my wife in the ass this evening. And he's like, wait a minute, what? You'll tell what's going on in your household, but you won't say what's in the voting booth, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But again, if that kid come in one more time, we gonna have it.
Leave that
Now I'm
baby
still
alone.
recording, buddy. I'm still recording. I will let you know. I should have locked that door. You gotta go, buddy. Adult. All right, love you. Get out of here, you minion.
I love that
So
shirt.
yeah, Lord, he want to wear it to school tomorrow. I'm like, do whatever. I don't care. Um, but again, we as this American society, and I still love the fact that we keep calling America an experiment because it is. I mean, we
With
I
a
are
mean, we're
at a
still
splash
we're
point.
of
still fa-
reality show.
we're still fairly
Yeah.
young as a country, so I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it
We're
is
only
what it is.
248 years old, and like they said, Rome went to ash at 250. So we need to enjoy these 2 years left, because I think when America hit 250, if a certain person's in office, it's game over.
Yeah,
And I
You know,
I am not one to say, oh, he's kidding. No, you don't joke around with things like that.
You
You
don't.
you don't play games. And if you gonna say, "Well, I'll be a dictator only on day one," no, dog, no dictator. Well, no, that is true. There are many who said, "No, I'm gonna do one thing and one thing alone," and then once that power hits them, they won't let go.
Right.
And I
Especially
don't.
4 years to think about all the opportunities he missed when
Yeah,
he was president. He has a list,
exactly. And
not just
It's
the hit
probably
list. He has
it's probably
another
written in
list of things he
crayon, but
figured out he
I'm
could
sure
do as
there's a
president.
list.
it probably is. But guess what? He is. What is it? L'enfant terrible,
Oh,
the terrible baby, the terrible infant. That is him. He is that child. He is that big goober ass kid that was spoiled from day one, who was taught that if you're not first, you're last, and you're a loser. And the movie The Apprentice is about him and Roy Cohen. Roy Cohen was the one who taught him how to just never say you lost,
Do
never
you
say you
think
lost.
that
his
on
And
November
mentor.
6th, when
yeah,
we wake up
probably
on
his
There you go,
November
love.
Colleen.
6th,
I
when we
mean, we all saw the video
yeah,
Well,
that came out yesterday.
oh my,
yeah.
So,
Trump
and the joke
3000.
about, and talking
Got
about
got.
Arnold Palmer, like,
And that's
Yeah.
crazy that how do you
what
have
you
somebody
do in the
that's trying
dark.
to run the United States of America and has no problem getting on stage and his followers have no problem with it of him simulating a sex act and then talking about the size of another man's
He's
Do
shit.
you
just
know his theme
emotional.
song? Do any of y'all know
And
his
then we'll
theme
sit
song?
and
Macho
then we'll
Man,
and then we'll sit
No.
there and talk about how Christian he is.
YMCA.
His theme song is Shake That Monkey, okay?
What?
Ew,
That's his theme song, Shake That Monkey.
I
Lord
thought it was
Jesus.
And
YMCA
most
by the
white people
Village
are like,
People.
we love
Duh,
monkeys.
man, Shake That Monkey.
You
It's a
know
double
what?
it's a double entendre.
I bet it
Well,
is.
I hope he shake it. In all honesty, I hope he shake it on the unemployment line or shake it during in jail when it's
Fucking
time for
It's a
the.
Byron
double entendre.
Yeah.
It's a
Byron
you know
Douglas is his favorite monkey to shake too, I'm sure.
listen,
Mm,
and you know he like grabbing pussy, so
look, the dude is a hot mess, but sadly, he it
I have
he's a
Anthony, I have
symptom. I think
had
he's a symptom of the virus that is America, and that's my last thing
he's
on
the
him.
internet.
it is. I
He's the
have had
living embodiment
people
of the internet.
that I work with that have literally like I work in an industry that's kind of based on if people have disposable income or not. And they're like, "Oh, come November, we're going to be yeah, the numbers is going to go like what?
What
What do y'all
numbers?
think is going to what do y'all think is going to like the Fed is already dropping. So people that's a good thing. But
Right.
that's now. What do y'all
They
think is
think
going to
tariffs
happen come
are going to
January
save them.
1 that's going to be so different that's going to put more disposable income into people's pockets
Tariffs. They
for
just
our
released
industry?
details
They
on
go
Mhm.
wake
tariffs.
up. They
But
go
like
wake
do
up
y'all
January
not
If they
know
first.
charge 200%, that means we can charge 200%.
They go
but it's
wake up
like
January first and look at their credit card statements. That's what's gonna happen.
but I'm like, dude, y'all do know this shit is not like at the like, oh, he's in office, the shit changed. Like, that's not how
Well, he
this
would have
works.
to have
That's not
put
how this
in work to
never
make those things
works.
happen, and he has no desire to do that. We
No.
spent over $3 million every time that dude goes golfing. $3 million,
And I
And
love the fact
again,
that they
and it's
glossed
all for
over.
golf courses.
Yes, and it's his. They glossed over the fact that he was going to his own shit and paying himself out.
yeah,
Oh well,
Yeah,
he didn't take a paycheck, bitch. He didn't need to. Why would I need to take a paycheck when I am having the American government when I am having the citizens of the United States of America pay
pay
me
my
to go
way.
to my
and
resorts and
his
golf on my
entire
shit?
family came
Where my
out of
wife is
that
buried.
presidency with his Jared Kushner, his
Hmm.
Jewish son-in-law, $400 million working with
Yeah,
overseas contractors
And
came
how do
out of it
you
with four. That's why you don't see Ivanka. Ivana. She's like Ivanka. She's
Ivanka is
like,
the
I'm
daughter.
gonna
Yeah,
sit this one out, Dad. Especially since you went on national TV talking about how you'd have sex with me if I wasn't your
that
daughter.
part? How do I want Kamala to get into office and appoint her stepchildren into office.
Oh
And
No,
no, we're not gonna do that.
I want her to do that and I want her to put them in places that they have never thought about. I want the artist cuz the daughter is like artsy and art school, fashionista. I want her to run the Department of Agriculture cuz why the fuck not?
Oh no, we
Why
can't
not?
have
Why?
that.
Why do you need credentials to do anything? I want my Donald Trump literally gave every sitting member of his fucking family that was of age a job in the federal government with
Nepotism.
I was
with
just about to say that's the
with
word of the
government
week.
clearance.
Nepotism. Yeah.
What?
And
Yes.
y-
And that's
but
why he wants to take the FBI out of the process of screening people for clearance because he had so many people that couldn't pass the clearance
right.
that he had
Because
appointed.
I can
So
believe
now he
that.
wants the FBI to step out and he
okay.
wants to appoint a private
And as soon
company.
as it ain't benefiting him,
It's game
Correct.
over.
you got to get the
Because
shit
Well,
out. You
He's
got to
got a
go.
full right to work at the gas station. He has 34 felonies. He can't get a job at the gas station.
you see
okay,
the motherfucker went to
but
McDonald's and now we can't have their onions and they done took half the goddamn menu down because
Right.
E. coli popped up.
fucking E.
look,
coli done popped the fuck up.
I can't trust the person who can't open a car door or a garbage truck door or can't even close an umbrella before they get on a plane.
He couldn't even put the fries
I
in
ju-
right.
You couldn't even put the fries in right. But again,
Or how about
I want to
audibly shits his pants during rally speeches?
hey, again, we have to look
Oh
at it
no,
like this.
I love the water. The
Oh yeah, the sip.
like, bitch, you don't know how to drink out of a cup. What the fuck is wrong with you?
But again, we
But the fact that when stuff
In the
malfunctions,
hands, in the
his
hands.
first reaction is to
he's
deep
weaving.
throat says a lot. When
Well,
stuff's not going his way,
Or no,
he
knows
but
could
how
be
to fix it.
practicing for jail. Leave him be. He might be
right.
practicing for jail.
But no, but on a
Okay,
serious
he's
note, with that,
prepared.
whenever have you noticed that whenever anything malfunctions, whether it be the teleprompter or he's late or
He sure is.
he always gets pissed at the lowest person possible
Yeah, he never looks at
and
the
starts
at
talking
himself or the
shit
people.
about
Hmm.
the lowest person possible. Oh, the mic guy, he ain't shit. He's stupid. He gave me this stupid ass mic. Like what? The cameraman, they're stupid. They didn't do it. The
He
pilot,
loves
they're
to
fucking
put a
stupid.
target on somebody. Loves it. Knowing what
Loves
his
it.
followers are willing to do.
Yeah,
He relishes it. They
but
talk about
again,
contractors that he never paid that took their own lives because thought they got this huge contract with this rich guy. They put all their resources into it and they never got paid. Ruined so many families.
Hmm.
People
yep.
killed themselves over it. And do you think he cares?
Nope.
No.
Who
Fuck
was it?
no.
Wasn't it just the was it the governor of Albuquerque or somebody in New Mexico? No, I want to say it was Albuquerque specifically. And I lived in Albuquerque for 4
Oh
years.
no, that was the mayor. That was the
Yes, the
mayor that
mayor. It
told
was
him you can't be here.
the mayor of Albuquerque. He was like, "You literally owe us money."
Yeah.
He went to Albuquerque, got and had a fucking rally on the tarmac because he couldn't leave the fucking airport. Like, you
Yeah.
owe us money that I
Yeah.
will not allow you, and people will not rent you event space to hold whatever bullshit rally you are trying to. But you owe money to so many places, to so many people. You are a failed businessman with multiple failed companies, multiple bankruptcies, and there are literally people saying, well, he's the greatest businessman in the world. Of course, I want him to run my country like
Yeah,
he
marketing
runs
Right.
is a
their
motherfucker, man.
Yep.
companies.
Because you know
Marketing
what
is a
his
Marketing.
greatest
motherfucker, man.
attribute is that he's a swindler.
That
He
Yeah.
part.
is
Yeah.
He's
the
a hustler.
top
And look,
swindler. He
me and
can get
Colleen
you
have
to
worked
believe
for a swindling
anything. Here's
organization together. We know
boy,
swindlers.
I made a lot of money swindling.
Yeah.
You
Man,
hear
man,
Some
me?
of
man.
that the federal
Well,
government has required those companies to repay, but
That
not
part.
me.
well, look,
That
we
part.
gonna have to. We gotta start wrapping things up. But I want to say this. I said it earlier, but I really want to get this off. Because we gotta have a conversation, black men, and I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just talking about a certain few. And while I'm okay with, okay, you want to vote for Trump, you can vote for Trump, do whatever you want to do. I need y'all to come up with better reasons as to why you want Trump. And I need y'all to kind of start, no, not kind of, I need you to be respectful. And I need you to actually act like you got some damn sense. And I need you to stop trying to act like your white bro counterparts because if and I will quote the video I saw earlier this week of this black man who was having a conversation with a Trump supporter, and that Trump supporter called Vice President Harris a bitch. And I hope that this energy carries with every black man from here on out. When he told them, your wife, you're married, right? Yeah. Well, your wife's a bitch. And the white guy said, yeah, well, that's fine. That's fine. He said, okay, so we keeping that energy? How long your mama been dead? Oh, well, your mom, oh, no, my mom's alive. The brother said, okay, well, then your
Your
mama's a
mom's a
bitch.
bitch.
He said, all the women in your life are bitches. If Kamala Harris is a bitch, every woman in your life is a bitch. Keep that energy. And you can hear in this man's voice in the car as he's trying to call Kamala Harris a bitch to a black man that you could tell he was getting kind of scared.
He
And
should
he
be.
said, and he basically said, well, that's not bullshit. He said, no, no, no. We were having a good conversation until you went that route. Don't ever call a black woman a bitch, and especially in front of me or any black man. And I think this is where I have problems with these FBAs and these ADOSs because y'all are working my last good nerve. I thought y'all were cool little hoteps who were trying to get reparations, but now I see y'all are a bunch of pieces of shit to me now. Because y'all are saying things that make no sense at all. As if we as black people ain't none of us are 100% African. I don't give a damn where you from.
I got my test back. I'm barely 50 shit at this point.
And
I
and I got
did.
some.
I got, God damn, am I not that black? Shit.
Yeah. And I look at it and I go, well, wait a minute. Your ass is Drake light. How the hell you gonna tell Kamala Harris, who's two shades darker than you, that she ain't black? I need you to sit back and really pay attention to that word black and how it's meant. And if you're gonna come in, well, she hadn't gone through the black American experience, motherfucker.
You don't think that woman went through the
m-
Black American
Hey,
experience going to Howard or going to an HB?
Going
She went to Howard, didn't
to
she?
Howard. She went
Going
to
to
Howard.
Howard and
stop,
pledging as an AKA? You
stop
don't
But
think
here's
showing
the
that
y'all
thing.
woman went
small
through?
dick energy, fellas. It's not that
Oh,
serious.
as
Let me
Rico
tell you
said,
what. They
it's
don't need to pass
ridiculous.
any birth control legislation because this rover is about to
Yeah.
stop the increase of the population completely. They have convinced these men that the most masculine alpha thing you can do is be a Trump supporter, and the women
And be
who are turning out
misogynistic
to
about
vote
it.
in record numbers are looking like nothing turns me off more. It's the
No.
biggest ick of
Yep.
this
Mm-hmm.
century. The idea that you would support it at all is an absolute no.
And to add on to that, Carlene,
I'm doing nothing but swiping left in every app right now.
the the
No,
the
no,
to
no.
add on to that too, they are swindled by the idea that Trump is going to give them money. I
Or
want
give
y'all
them
to hear me.
anything.
I want y'all to hear me clearly on that. When I listen to people talking, people are still embedded on the idea that a potential stimulus or anything is going to come their way. And all I can do is look at people and be like, yo, your small dick energy is really showing, my guy. Like, seriously. If you can be swayed by that, you can be swayed by anything. Because
But
all they
and
doing is pulling the sheet over your head before they fuck you, dog.
right. And
This is
I think
this
another thing,
Pavlov where they train them to hit the button and the cheese comes out, hit the button and the cheese comes out, and then they're hitting the button, hitting the button, hitting the button, hitting the button. They will continue hitting Trump's button, hoping another stimulus check pops out.
and it's never going to happen. And that's what I think they don't want to understand. No, they understand it. They just want to stand in their misogyny for it. And
Right.
what's kind of sickening to me, and I look, I love my people. I love us. I love us because
I do too.
if I can't, if we can't love us, we can. Nobody ever will, right? But what irks me about it all is y'all act like none of like none of us ain't half breeds, mixed breeds, quadroons, octoroons, multiroons, whatever kind of terms you want to talk about people who are mixed cultured but are inherently black. Oh, because her daddy wasn't or her great great grandparent wasn't enslaved in America. Newsflash: Jamaica, slaves,
Mm.
slave plantations, the
They just
whole
got off
damn
the boat
island.
before we did. That's all.
Thank you. As Paul Mooney said, yeah, they uppity because they felt like because they got dropped off first. They
That
uppity
part.
to us as Americans. I get it. I get the whole fact of even with Obama. Oh, Obama ain't black. He had to marry Michelle to be black. No, he's
He
black.
didn't have to marry Michelle to be, but Lord Jesus have
Look,
mercy on their
look at
But
goddamn
that.
again,
souls.
this is the Tariq Nasheeds of the world. These are these folks who have to find ways to validate their BS. And what it does, it
and ego.
makes y'all look a hell of a lot like the bros, like the Rogans, like the Andrew Tates, like the what's
Oh
that
Lord, we didn't even
goofball.
get on that goddamn Joe Rogan podcast interview.
That's
You
the
know what? I actually want to give
The
Joe
truth
Rogan
is,
one
no
good
matter
shout out.
how much
At least he
you
made Trump look like an
articulate
idiot.
them, you'll never
He
have their
did.
privilege.
Yeah, you'll
So
never get
you
it.
can
You're
jump
right.
on that train and identify like them, and they can, oh my God, all that, but you still will never operate with their level of privilege.
No. And you'll always be second class. Hell, you might even be third class.
But
You
did
might
y'all
have no
see that
class at all.
the gay black Republican when he went to whatever rally and they was going off on his
Yeah.
ass?
Yes.
And he's still on the news like, well, it was, it was, I'm like, they showed you who they were. They told you who they were. And
Yep.
any candidate that I want to be, whether it be local government, city, state, federal, whatever, if my candidate, whether he or she says it or not, if the KKK or a Nazi party or the Aryan Nation feels comfortable enough to come out and say that they endorse the person that I want to endorse, I no longer want to endorse that person.
Exactly.
You cannot
period.
tell me just because somebody has not come out and said that I am a racist. Like we have to physically come out of your mouths and say, I am a racist. I agree with the KKK or the Nazi party or the
Your
Aryans or
actions go
whatever.
show too.
If they are comfortable enough to align themselves with you and go to your rallies and wave their goddamn flags, there is
Hmm.
something inherent in what you are saying that they like, and I don't want to like what those people like.
Exactly.
So with
Look,
that
the
being
only
said,
thing white people hate more than being called a racist is having to come to terms with the fact that they are.
Ooh,
okay. And
Ooh,
on that
that
pin
part.
drop,
ding.
that part, and I will say this to the brothers, to y'all who keep posting the dumbest shit about Harris's record as an AG and as a DA, which is have all been debunked and you're wrong about it.
That part.
Get get your shit together. That is it.
I have a
That is
question,
all.
Anthony.
All right. So
You want to do a
we are
question
gonna
of the
go.
pod or you want to do a FMK?
Let's do the FMK
Okay,
because we
FMK.
don't want Rhea to feel like we
Well, I
fired
got the
her.
question from Rhea, so
Oh
she
well,
sent it
then
to me. But I do have an FMK though.
all
I
right.
have a pretty good
Let's
one.
do the FMK. Let's end on a lighter and fun note.
Okay,
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is
because it's
time for.
always fun to kill a couple people. Go ahead.
It is true. It is time and the return of the game made for kings and queens and the poors in between. It is time for FMK.
Which
Given to
stands
us this
for?
time, fuck, marry, and kill that ass. I don't think that ass is a part of it, but
Oh
we
no,
just add
it
that
should
in there.
be. It should be. It
It
should be
should
now
be.
be called
Got
Fuck
it.
Mary Kill That Ass.
That
All
ass.
right. So we are going to do. We're going to do a Republican edition of Fuck Mary Kill, boys and girls.
Oh. Woo.
So boys first.
Okay.
Rico and Anthony. Your Fuck Mary Kill will be the ladies of the Trump family: Tiffany Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Melania Trump. Go.
Mm.
Rico,
Okay.
you're
Start with
first.
Rico.
Ivanka getting fucked. Uh, Melania getting married, and the other one is she cool where she at? She can die.
Oh.
That nigga said, "Oh shit,
Tiffany.
she can die."
Yeah.
Tiffany's gone.
Okay. Oh man, this is
Anthony.
a hard one because two of them look like they
I don't
vagina
know,
stink.
because Ivanka seems like a good Jewish wife. I don't know.
Well, I ain't Jewish, so she better be a down
Well,
dirty ass bitch.
oh
And I don't
Lord.
think she
Good
got it in her.
time.
I don't think
She wasn't either.
I don't think
She
Melania
wasn't
is
Jewish
doing
before she
nothing.
married him anyway.
Well,
Melania's not doing nothing with Trump, but probably with the guy from
um,
Tiffany
her
and
her
Company.
trainer,
Yeah,
her
her
But
trainer.
she
trainer.
older. She older, so she's gonna do exactly Unfortunately, I hate the how that
Yeah.
comes off, but she comes from that hierarchy to just listen exactly to your husband, and it's as
But
weird as that
also,
is. Ugh.
it's also come out that she charges $250,000 to do anything for Trump. Any
Well,
appearance,
I
yeah.
believe
You
it.
any if
see,
you noticed at Madison
yeah.
Square Garden when he was kissing her, she said, "That's enough.
Did
Oh,
she?
Go back
well.
and watch your lips."
Look at the videos when he would try
Oh,
to hold her hand, she'd swat it away.
baby, she
Like,
would swat that hand away quick, or she would
but let me
change
tell
the
you
other
something.
side or some shit.
We cannot control those visceral reactions as
That's
Yeah,
much as
true.
you try.
I'll put it like this: let her try to swat my hand away. I'll slap her with the dick. Slap her with the dick. Anyway, but what I'm saying is,
I hate you.
um, for the F part, for the fuck part, I'm gonna go with. Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna fuck Melania because of her
She deserves
photos.
it.
She deserves it. She deserves a nice pound town. She deserves that trip. She deserves it. Um,
You're trying to take one for the nation. She
I,
deserves it.
America, I'm doing this for you. But as for marrying,
Yep. Who you
oh
marrying?
man,
Tiffany or Ivanka? I
Tiffany's
mean,
got this,
Trump himself said he'd get with Ivanka, so there's
Oh
that.
which
yeah,
would make me want
several
to
times.
kill. Then she got to go. She got to go off the cliff. I'll marry Tiffany.
Because he never
Um,
said he would do anything to
and
Tiffany. So
Tiffany. So Tiffany
He
me.
didn't
So that
even acknowledge
means
any.
that part,
Tiffany is untouched, well kept, and most clean.
she's untouched.
So I will marry Tiffany and fling Ivanka. Because if you look at Ivanka and Melania, they both have that face like they smell an odoriferous odor coming from their
It's
nether
been
lips.
reported that Trump smells bad.
Yeah, and
That-
then
Well, they said he does
bad
like
hygiene.
shit on himself on occasion.
Yeah. So no, I'm going to
Audibly.
The people for The
bang
Apprentice said
Melania.
he had shit on himself.
So bang Melania, marry Tiffany, and off the cliff with Ivanka.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
well, alrighty then. Now, for us, I've got,
Mitch McConnell got to
oh,
be in it.
no, Mitch ain't in it.
You don't want him
Uh,
melting between your legs?
it looks like his skin is just gonna come
Yeah.
off. We have Republican edition. We have Nick Bosa.
Oh wow. Oh, but you get the football players.
All right.
Nick
That's all
Bosa
right.
is a
I'm crying.
not
I'm
okay.
he's not a
Byron
great player, but
Douglas and
his
Mel
fade is
Gibson.
off. Oh,
And Mel Gibson.
Yeah, because
Helene's marrying
he has been
Helene's
in the
marrying him
news
He's an
now. No, no,
again
no, no,
anti-Semite.
now. But the rules of the game, how we've done it before, Anthony, in the past, is it is them at the heights
of
of
their
how they
careers.
looked.
Looked. No, no,
Yeah.
I wasn't saying it about his looks. I was just saying it for the fact
Oh,
that you would be able to be fucked by a pack of niggas. He's I think
Getting
that's why
one
you
get
would marry him.
get one
You would
get
marry
12
him.
free.
Yep.
Damn.
ew.
Because Mel Gibson, I think when he said that, he sounded like a cuck.
Yeah, he did.
He watched
True.
black.com. I'm gonna leave it
Oh,
He
at
does.
oh,
that.
he definitely seen a bigger dick in their phone for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. He was
He
jealous.
he
He was
definitely
pissed.
seen it.
He
Yeah,
was pissed. So no, we're talking Mel Gibson roundabout. What was his
Lethal
Braveheart.
name
Weapon.
in? Yeah, what's his name in Lethal
Le-
Weapon?
Riggs.
Riggs. Yeah.
You want him as Riggs? Okay,
But
got you.
you got Mel Gibson's mind today with the Riggs body of yesteryear. So we know how he feels as a Republican because that's why I put him on the Republican list.
Got you.
Byron Douglas, America's favorite
By,
Uncle. Well, we can't say Uncle Tom.
Byron
Uncle
Donalds.
Ruckus.
Byron Donalds.
Donald. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you'd have
I
put
was like,
Tim Scott.
nigga, Byron Douglas. I think that's the nigga from a different world that was gonna marry Whitley.
That was. That so
I don't know
was.
how I said Douglas, but yes, Byron Douglas
Shout out to
and
Joe
Nick
Morgan.
Bosa. Right, and Nick Bosa. So Colleen, go.
Ugh,
She said, ugh.
You
I'm
can't
killing
swipe
Byron
right
for
You're killing
obvious reasons.
you're killing who?
Byron.
because he
Well,
Obvious.
black. Because he black. No, I'm
she
joking.
got she got she,
I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I'm
He's
teasing.
what the
I'm
whites
so
would
teasing.
call a turncoat.
yes.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Mind you,
that
Got you.
Colleen does not look. Colleen does not have problems with black peen. She's got two black sons now. They came about because she had
I
no problem
understand.
with black peen.
No, I totally understand.
He tells no lies, but not not Republican.
Yeah, not Republican black bean. That's where she
I
draws
mean,
the
that's
line.
like
Wait,
anti
you telling me
everything.
you wouldn't go with Tim Scott and let him give you a hysterectomy with them Wampa Chompas?
Ugh,
Okay.
ugh,
Pearls clutched and thrown.
that's gross.
No,
Ooh,
I
that is
mean
so
that's
gross.
here's the thing. The the Byron Scott, the Byron Thomas, what's his name? Byron Scott,
Byron
Yeah,
Donalds.
Byron
Donald's.
Donald
Yeah.
of
Okay.
the
Byron
world.
Scott was a wonderful Laker. Don't go there.
Byron Donalds of the world are in the midst of a terrible identity crisis, and I
Yes.
don't do that in a marriage or in a sexual encounter.
Agreed.
Gotcha. Okay,
Now,
so Byron dead. Now you
how
got
old is
Riggs.
how old is Mel Gibson in this? Is he as old as he is now?
He was in his 30s,
When
About
he
his
was
thirty
doing
mid
four,
to
thirty
late
Riggs, he was
five.
30s.
like 30s, 40s, early 40s, and late
Yeah,
30s.
he's in his 30s.
But then I would have to go through
What he physically is now. So like
like if he is
you
now,
can foreshadow
I
what
would
what you're
marry
going with
him because
now.
he's gonna die.
Oh, wow.
She'd rather take him now because he's about to die.
I think what Colleen is saying, I could get that Passion of the Christ money.
That part.
Yes.
Braveheart money.
True. Either
Yes.
money. Both made millions fun.
Scotland,
I would marry Mel
freedom.
because I feel like Mel's the Marion type. I think I
Okay.
could actively campaign against all his beliefs, but I'd make sure at the prenup, knowing what I know now, I'd make sure the prenup was ironclad.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that
And
means
then
All
you're
Nick
right.
looks like a good ride.
Who?
Nick
Nick
Bosa.
Bosa?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That all right.
He's just have to hold his fucking mouth shut the whole time.
Yeah.
Don't
As you hit at
say
with every keep in
anything.
mind, with every backstroke, he just yells, "Make America great again." Make he's just gonna chant it. You gotta hear it. You gotta hear it. You
That's
gotta
some
hear it.
wild shit right there,
Oh.
man.
You got MAGA
All right. I'm gonna.
and your Vajaga. You got some
One and
MAGA.
done though. One and
Oh,
done.
okay.
I think I'm gonna.
All right.
Shit. Nick is such a damn misogynist, dude. Like, I don't know. So okay, I'm gonna.
Those would be the best in bed though. 'Cause that's where the
I
real personality
I
comes out.
know that's what. But
You
I
don't want
don't.
to be tied up
But
and
I don't want to be. I don't want to be married to Mel Gibson. So I'm
So you're
killing
not gonna
Mel. No, I'm
so
killing Mel.
you're not gonna take the pack of nigga package.
No, I'm killing Mel
Damn.
oh, I
Gibson.
did.
Colleen
Ah,
did.
I know.
Oh, see,
See, she
all
Black
works out in
lives
the end.
Black Lives Matter.
that part. I think I'm going to. God damn. Do I
Figure it
marry Nick
out.
Bosa? I don't think I
I
can
mean,
though. Like I don't.
You could,
I'd be like,
you could get in the bud. You could convince him that he's going to lose all of his marketing money, all the
no,
extra
because he
deals
wouldn't.
yeah.
He
that
wouldn't
get
listen.
up.
He wouldn't listen to me. But I just Byron is so disgusting. Just as a,
Ugh.
he's so disgusting. He's such a fucking. But you know what? Okay, I'm going to. I'm a. I'm a. I'm gonna marry.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna marry Byron. I'm gonna fuck Nick.
Okay. Okay.
God, that's a hard one.
Ah,
Yeah,
But think
see,
about it. And
she
I'll
did
give you
too.
this. You can always peg Byron.
I know, and that's what I was thinking in the back of my
You
mind.
probably could peg a Nick.
Yeah,
Eh,
that's what I was
so
thinking in the back of my mind. There are probably things I can do to Byron
right.
that would make it better. And I think a lot of times, I think a lot of these dudes are putting on a show, and I would want to see what they're really like in their home lives. Like, are
Oh,
you
they're
really?
grifters.
I think they're putting on a show
I think with Byron, all you
for
have to
money.
say is white people do it, and he'll do it.
They
Yeah,
already
He'll
get
do it.
donkey fucked.
Yeah.
and I am here for it. I will be the one. I am gladly will be the
Oh
one to
my
do it.
goodness.
Yo,
All
I don't
right.
like how intrigued you were when I just said that. Okay, your
Yeah.
laugh, your smile was too high, Anthony. Her smile was too high.
I I'm just gonna stay real quiet. It's the way it was supposed to be. But ladies and
Check
gentlemen,
that
we gotta
check that
wrap.
off my bucket list.
There you go. We gotta wrap this one up. We want to thank everybody for listening. Thank y'all for dealing with our craziness. But I also want to thank Miss Colleen as well as Rico for joining us because it would have just been me and Helene because the other two flaked out. But it's
Raggedy
okay.
bitches.